Hello, everyone. Welcome to the stream, where we're going to look into the Daisy stuff. So from the time that I scheduled the stream to now, like something's already changed. So like the soft white underbelly video is back up, but it's edited. If we look at it, it says that a name was taken out. So we can watch that because I haven't gone over that or shown you guys any of it. And since it's edited, we should be good to go. I don't know why my stream thing isn't working. So I don't know if I'm live, actually. I think I'm live. Don't know. Okay, yeah, we're kind of live. All right, so yeah, she's also out. So she's out of jail. I'll just get this pulled up here. I don't know, my thing was being crazy. How are you guys doing tonight? I hope you're having a great whatever. It's Wednesday. Happy Wednesday. So if we look down here, she was released. Here we go. Yesterday she was released at 4:51, so like 5 p.m. Pacific time. So it would have been like, I don't know, 8 p.m. It would be around like this time yesterday, which is kind of crazy because I thought she would have posted on social media now, or John, not at least John would have given us an update. She does not have any bail because she was released on her own reconnaissance. I can't pronounce that word. And now she has two different court dates, one in August and the other in October, at two different court cities. So I don't know. I thought if like her charges got dropped, then they would be going on to John since it was like his gun. And I thought that like since he had the restraining order, he couldn't have the gun, or he was saying, or like implying at least that's what someone was saying on one of his streams. He was implying that like the gun was unregistered or was an illegal gun when he was showing it off on stream. So I don't know how John like walked away. I don't think with anything, but John went to the 9 digit number court case thing. And now she just has these like 2-4 and 2T. I'm still gonna try to get like the body cam footage from it. So I don't know. I was hoping that she would have updated us by now by the time the stream would have happened. But if we go over to like her social medias, like she hasn't posted on any of these. So like this one, it was this is just John's update. This is the other weird thing too. So I don't think John even posted like an update on YouTube about her being like released. So like he posted saying like she's in jail. I'm just gonna double check to be sure, but no, nothing saying that she's out of jail now. Except, so if we go to the Instagram, he does have this video. I think I showed you guys this either in the members only stream or even the Heather stream, but this was like the one little update he put out. I think, no, he didn't put it on the TikTok. I'm just checking the TikTok. He didn't put it on the Facebook. So nothing's been posted on the Facebook or TikTok since like the original thing as well.
With all charges, Daisy's going to be released with all charges dropped except for disturbing the peace. Thank you, God.
So thank you, God. Thank you, God. So yeah, that is the one update he put out for everything. And then he still has the GoFundMe up. He's raised $1,000 again. Like, so when the bail was 500, I didn't understand why he wasn't like bailing her out, because he could like pawn one of the bikes. You know, he has two bikes he showed us on the interview stream. He could have pawned one of the bikes. He could have got Daisy out of jail. He could have paid the $500 bail, but she didn't even need bail. So I asked him over here. Let me get this pulled up. I asked him, I was like, hey, I seen Daisy got moved, because at first I just seen that she got moved to the detention facility. So I was like, I seen that Daisy got moved to a different detention facility. At court moved to today / another date set for tomorrow, which would have been yesterday. Since you were scheduled for court today as well, as wondering how it went. I also seen her bail was set as well. You think you can get her out soon? And then this, I don't know why it didn't show on desktop, but this was me just showing like her release. So if I'm just gonna pop this back over real quick for you. the release thing, not the release, but the housing thing, this thing. So I sent him a screenshot of this and then the new court date, which is different now. It's not the same one as it was before, but so he says charges dropped to discern the peace and $500 bail. That's a great news. How long do you think you can? How long do you think it'll be till you can get her out? And what will you guys do with the GoFundMe money then? And he says, should I write about tomorrow? GoFundMe is for lawyer fees, though. Our legal team literally hit a home run. Didn't go into any other detail. I haven't talked to him since because I figured like we'll give him some time, they just got out of jail. But I thought that we would have heard from at least one of them by now. So that's interesting. Other than John saying, Daisy's going to get out of jail, guys. Thank God. And that was it. That was it. So since that is that, I wasn't expecting this to come back up. This interview she did with Softwood Underbelly. But it says right here, the video has been reposted with a name edited out. And it has the views reset, so it's not like they just edited the original video. So yeah, we can watch it straight from the source today. Because I was originally gonna cut like 2 or 3 minutes out just to be on the safe side of like my version of it. But we're good. We could just watch the whole 42 minutes and they edited the name out. I'm trying to see. I didn't show you guys the TikTok, but there's like nothing on there. I'll just pop it up real quick for you since I have it here. Nothing going on there. And nothing on the Facebook since like his interview from Santa Monica close up. So that's where we're at. That's where we're at in the Daisy and John universe and lore. So yeah. Like I said, we can get the body cam footage. That would be pretty fancy. That would be pretty fancy indeed. And then there was something else that I was thinking of looking into again, but I can't remember what it was now. I can't remember. But also, I guess I never said hi to anyone. I hope you guys are all having a fantastic, I already said Wednesday. But Mirinda, I'm Gumby, damn it. It's just a different Gumby. Who's this Gumby? Megan, the love of my life. Ryan, I hope you're doing well. Nicole, Mother Guinea Pig, Steve a Kitty. We got Jen Tink, aka Maxwell's mom. Who else we got? We got Bombay Beach, Daisy Regular, Kat Johnson, Alan, I know that Alan. Trisha also a Daisy Regular, and we got Tinker Bell Hippie. Where's Jill? There's Jill. Jill, our legal team. It's just one of Daisy's sugar daddies, Steve Aronoff. Or that's Grasshopper Steve, right? That's what I figured. It's like just like John's out here. Ooh, I heard a rumor. Do you guys want to hear a rumor? Heard John is on Grindr, but I don't know because I don't have Grindr. But like maybe we can do some sleuthing around, see what's going on with that. So that was a rumor. What have you guys heard? Have you guys heard anything? Let's see, Meg. We know she was. Yeah, I definitely think. John. I even told him. I was like, you see how this looks like a setup, especially since he was like avoiding the question of why would you even bring a gun that you don't have access to the place, and then if like he pled the fifth for saying like I was like, did you intentionally like leave the kid home? He's like, I plead the fifth. That's a weird way. Kenny, how you doing? Good evening. Remember to like the stream. I thought that was a poop emoji for a second because I'm really far away, and I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, Gumby, the original Gumby. Alan is here. And screenshot this. Also Memble's World. But yeah, so we'll watch this. And then what was there? Oh, they also wanted to show you guys. I don't think I showed you guys Hack Ride's interview, or not Hack Ride, but DJ Electra's interview with Hack Ride. There's a whole, I don't know, there's a story behind it, but I don't really care about that story. Not the story about the interview, but just a story about that channel. For some reason, they put at the beginning, because someone was saying that like there's some inconsistencies with like what he was saying in the interview he did with me and what he was saying on this other person's interview. So we'll do this Software Underbelly, and then if there's time, we'll do John's interview with DJ Electra, and yeah, I'll take it from there. So without further ado, let's see what's going on here, because I thought this was not going to be available, but I already grabbed it, so I was going to be like, well, we'll watch this, but we still watch it. It's worth the watch. Trust me.
I made a decision to turn my will and my life over because when I had my kids taken, I had this huge vein pop out of my forehead, and I was
Yes, no, I wasn't trying to be racist. I was just black thumbs, black thumbs.
a broken woman, and I realized like this is gonna kill me if I don't do something.
So you're currently living on the beach
Yes,
in Venice Beach?
No.
There we go.
John, I fell in love with my best friend, John. And
This was also an interesting thing. John was standing off to the side during this whole interview. She gets into some shit. And she gets into some shit about like where her kids are taken and everything. And when John came on, he was almost acting like she was set up. Like it was all just like kids can be taken with no evidence at all. And I was like, really? And then that the family, like, yeah, she did do something, but it was exaggerated. Like the family's after her and everything. So I was surprised that John was here listening to all of this. So either John is deaf or like, I don't know, he was playing kind of like, no, I don't know what's really happening.
Both are doing, we call it God's work. So we started a nonprofit, A Call to Love. And our vision is to take Venice Beach from domination government to self-governing, from market economy to sacred economics.
Sacred, I think she gets into sacred economics. The first 14 minutes, I think, is pretty, this is my mission in life, which is it's a wacky mission. But she brought her A game, and then she just gets into like a lot of maybe trigger warning stuff. I should probably say trigger warning to a lot of this stuff she's about to describe.
Which means instead of rewarding greed and
he put in the description that it was reposted with a name edited out, Gumby.
Selfishness, we reward altruism, do-gooding, and people's gifts and talents in terms of how they meet needs.
But weren't you just married to? There's
my divorce is final.
Is Daisy in chat? If Daisy is in chat, she can call in if she wants. I'll send her a link.
August 10th, and I already told him that I want to marry him August 11th. He's my twin flame. And if I don't have a twin flame, I'm wired for a he hive, which means I have never ending kings, usually like 4 to 12 at a time.
4 to 12 boyfriends at a time?
Yes. And usually they're all monogamous, and I'm the only woman they date, and all of them play nice together. But when I find a twin flame, then I'll just stay with that one person. So John is that for me.
So you're like a female
Casanova.
There you go.
That's right.
You told me the other day when I met you across the street, you have thousands of boyfriends?
Yeah, John and I just started hooking up on Wednesday. So yeah, so it's pretty new.
And you're engaged already?
Yeah, well, we've been best friends for a long time. We speak publicly together. So we'll go to courthouses and government buildings, and we want to start speaking at Google and big businesses.
Speaking of Google and big business, could you imagine Daisy speaking at Google? Like, I think you have to be pretty smart to work at Google, right? And then they just bring in Daisy to, what would they even bring in Daisy for? To like, I don't know. There's conflict within the office, office politics. Like, we need someone to like chill them out. Bring Daisy in. I think she would put everyone on edge more.
Our vision is to bring people together. So instead of merit-based systems, which is like, oh, like you have a lot because you deserve it, or you inherited it, or you were ordained by God, like explaining accumulation, which creates scarcity, is done by merit. And if we shift into
I don't know what that is, Kenny, but we can.
Need-based systems, all of us share the same universal needs with the planet, and every single microorganism has the same universal needs as us, and that all of life has the same needs. So if we focus our attention on what are your gifts and talents, what gives you a sense of meaning and purpose, and that's what you're supposed to do. And the problem is we've taken government and market economy.
Is that better? Is that louder?
And we've taken spiritualism out of it. But we need spirituality. And I believe that this is the time where I've created 4 steps.
All right, here we go. So the 4 steps. I don't know what she's about to describe. At least when I heard it, I didn't hear any like spirituality put into market economics or market economy. It basically just sounds like a privileged viewpoint of a homeless person, like a bougie homeless person, that like as long as you have connections, you can get by in life. Which if you're rich, that kind of works. But most people need to pay their way in life and don't want to be bothered like making a bunch of connections with people, and it doesn't really work like that. It's unrealistic, basically.
So to get us to sacred economics, the first step, we turn our will and first step is we acknowledge that there's a problem, that our lives are unmanageable, we're all suffering, and the jig is up. No one wins in market economy.
I like how, and Daisy just thinks everyone's suffering as well in market economy. So like, no, just because Daisy's having a bad time, everyone else must be having a bad time too. And I'm not saying that like a majority of people probably are not having a good time, but there's like varying degrees of like why, you know what I mean? I don't know if it's market economy's fault necessarily or completely. But it's an interesting take.
Step 2, we made a decision to turn our will and our life over to a higher power. I call it God, but it could be earth or whatever you want. And by turning your will over, it means that you find your meaning and purpose. It took me years to find my meaning and purpose. And I know without a doubt, it's one or two things for everyone. My meaning and purpose, to awaken, which means you're not a human, you're a superhero. And you're lovable no matter what. And no one can ever kick you out. You belong no matter what. So I awaken people.
So this is option 1. This is like the blue pill, awakening people and being a superhero. Also, this is the worst soda pop ever. It's Pepsi Zero with cherries. And I would not recommend it. And I have to drink what I bought of it. But I'm not happy about it, guys. But yeah, okay. So awakening is the blue pill.
And number 2, I bring people together. I unite them. And
oh wait, no, this is not options. This is just like 2 things she does. I thought she just said that it's either going to be one or the other for everyone. Maybe I misheard.
the way I unite people is by meeting needs. So I match people up. Like, what does this person need? What does this person need? And who can meet the needs for that person? And I believe that through interdependent partnerships, we can replace coercive giving with natural giving. And that's our way. Dolphin and eagles and the great Mother Earth, nobody charges except for humans. And even Earth, I'll give you an example.
But like the humans are the only evolved beings. You know what I mean? I think you could actually argue monkeys like steal stuff from people so they can exchange it for like food and stuff with other people. Let's see, like your sunglasses. I think, what is it? Either ravens or crows, maybe both of them. They like collect stuff. I don't know about trading it. I think she's kind of wrong though. She may be a little bit wrong, but it's not common. Yeah, what are we comparing ourselves to? Dogs, cats, snails?
Like, we're so toxic in LA, and all we do is make her culture medium, which is water dirty. We create a toxic environment for Earth. And then in turn, she gives us dandelions. And they grow everywhere like weeds because they detoxify our body. And it's as if the Great Mother is saying, oh, you guys are so toxic and lovable. Here, have some dandelions to help detoxify you. And she's still giving, because instead of
I kind of like this metaphor, or this, I don't even know if dandelions detoxify stuff. Maybe we should have looked that up before. I'm like, I like this. But if they do, it's a nice, it's a nice metaphor.
Accumulation and scarcity, which you need domination governments and market economy to create. With sacred economics,
this is how she would like indoctrinate me. So I like this one thing. Let me hear more.
And self-governing, which means it's based off willingness and capacity, not getting paid and working, then you have abundance instead. And abundance replaces scarcity and accumulation by having an endless flow of resources to meet needs for everyone. And with gift giving, by meeting needs for these people and giving, it takes trust and vulnerability that now there's going to be a vacuum created that I'm going to also receive. So it's a big shift that I believe we're all coming to.
Sounds wonderful.
And yeah.
Where did you grow up, Daisy?
And with that one question, where did you grow up? We're gonna go like on a completely different journey. So yeah, trigger warning if you didn't hear before, if you're just joining us. We're gonna get into some pretty dark stuff.
So I went to 8 schools in 7 years. I was born in Stamford, Connecticut. I was born Charlene Fodor to Eugene Fodor, who is in the Wikipedia. He's a world famous violinist. And my mother, Susan Davis, who's an opera singer. My parents got divorced when I was 2. So by the time I was 2, I already lived in Connecticut, New York City, Colorado, and then we moved to Paraguay. I met President Ronald Reagan, who was good friends with my grandfather, Arthur H. Davis, who's also in the Wikipedia. And I also got introduced to Bush Sr., President Bush, and my grandfather was appointed by Reagan to be ambassador of Paraguay and then Panama. So I grew up for 7 years in those countries in the United States Embassy. President Bush asked my grandfather to be ambassador of Chile, and he declined. And we moved to Washington, D.C., and then Northern Virginia, and then again Colorado. Like, we moved around a lot.
It's not too bad so far. Moved around a lot.
When I was 5 years old, my mom sent me to a mental hospital.
So she was born Charlene, changed her name to Lindsay. I don't know exactly when that happened. That'd be a good question to ask her if we ever talk to her. And now she's Daisy because she's awakened. She's a superhero now, and she brings people together.
And I believe that rich people who are privileged like me, we have the most abuse, because in order to use your power over and extract and harm everyone else, you have to be really separated, and you have to really go through trauma to be able to traumatize others. So in my family, I was left with nannies. My mom was ice cold, no affection. And then my grandfather was the family pedophile.
And this is where it gets crazy.
And molested, most of the little girls and some of the little boys. The nannies were raped by him. One of my teenage nannies got pregnant. And when I was 13, my best friend was sexually assaulted. And she came running up the stairs crying, and my other girlfriend was there. And I thought, oh, good, the jig is up. So I told my mom, hey, it's been happening to me since my earliest memories. And she called me a liar, told me I should be ashamed. So the abuse continued for another 3 years. And when I watch Ivanka Trump and Donald Trump, and she like sits in his lap and stuff and goes on like dates with him, that's how it was with my grandpa.
I don't know why she mentioned that, but like this is how you can see, I guess, like how Daisy got to where she is, and it didn't get better for her. This is like the reason why she was kind of using guys, partying a lot, probably not raising her kids the best way. But then at the same time, like she doesn't look like she's cooperating with DCFS or anything to prove that she has changed or she's an adequate parent now. She wants to kind of like just work around it somehow, which I don't think is the best idea. That's what it looks like anyways.
And the same feeling he gave me of my skin crawling, like I recreated that when I turned 22. I found cocaine and alcohol and cigarettes. And that was like my trinity. Like those 3, and I didn't want any other drugs. Like I tried other stuff like once, but that was like my thing. Almost every day I used from 22 till 36. And from 22 till 36, I would wake up and say,
I wonder what that does to your brain, doing that much cocaine for that many years.
Okay, this is day 1 being sober, like every day. I felt like I was using against my will. I really wanted to get sober. I recreated the same trauma for my kids, the psychological, physical, verbal abuse, waking up from blackouts, and my oldest telling me stuff that I did.
How many children do you have?
3.
And they're with you?
I mean, like, he has to ask a question, I guess, to get her to get into it. But like, do they look like she's with her? I guess like there are homeless people who have their kids. Like they're not like Heather Gillespie. I guess they're smart enough to get around the system somehow. They probably keep their life on the down low. They don't broadcast it every day to social media like Heather does with all her loopy plans and her drug use. That's probably the reason.
So when I was 36 on July 21st,
So,
So
how,
the-
how old are you now?
I'm 42.
You're 42.
Yeah.
You look great.
So thank you. So I got sober and my awakening was triggered on July.
I know Dr. Roxo. Do any other guys watch Metalocalypse? I forgot about that show.
21st. So men would pay
I'll show you guys a picture of Dr. Roxo.
me $8,000 to $12,000 a month. And I was with Nobel Prize winning doctors, famous lawyers, hedge fund managers, because they could afford me. And so I was like out on the hunt for a new guy. So
you were
So this is Dr. Roxo. He does cocaine. That's his thing. And that's what he says. He's I'm Dr. Roxo and I do cocaine. So I guess that's what happens when you do cocaine for that long, for that many years.
like an escort or more of a sugar baby?
sugar baby. So sugar babies, they don't sleep with a guy for a long time. Like the night I got arrested, he gave me, and all this is in the police report, he gave me an envelope for $2,000. We went out to dinner. By the end of the night, I was drunk and we got in some fight. And then I called the cops
That would be crazy, Jill. I don't know about that. I think Daisy just likes to go on about that.
on him. So the cops came. They end up arresting me for prostitution because he's like, oh, I gave her to. Anyways, they didn't arrest him. I told the police that my kids were alone. My oldest was 10. My youngest
Yeah, John is 2 years younger than me, which is crazy to me. Yeah, 92. So when he's born, February 92.
were 8 and 2 years old. So my oldest was responsible for babysitting them. At the time, I had been a millionaire since I was 22. I had just bought my 5th house. I had a brand new RV. I had a ranch in Costa Rica with horses and a guard at the gate and people living there.
So she had all this when she left her kids alone in the RV, and she's gonna say why.
So I had like tons of money and resources, and
Didn't want to get a nanny.
I still wouldn't pay a babysitter because I came home in blackouts and I didn't want babysitters to see me go home in a blackout. And I wanted to keep the abuse secret because I didn't want to lose my kids, and I lost my kids. And I got sober 12 days later. And I had this realization like, holy shit, now I can't be a sugar baby because I can't numb out that feeling of my skin crawling, which was the same feeling I had from my grandpa.
How long were you using drugs, alcohol?
So she's basically saying like, well, I had a bunch of kids and then I got child support, so I didn't really have to sleep around, or not sleep around, but be a sugar baby because like I could have paid the bills of the child support, but she was still doing that. Like that's when she got arrested, was when she was doing that, and she left the kids at home. So it doesn't really track with me. But then she's like, well, now I can't numb out the pain. Oh, I guess like she's saying she did do that, but she didn't need to do that because she had the child support. But now she doesn't have the sugar babies money because like she can't numb out the pain. She can't do drugs because her kids got taken away. She's trying to get them back. And she doesn't have the child support because she got the kids taken away. So that's not good. So there's like no money coming in. And I guess that's when the trust fund money ran out, because like she had money, right? She's like she said, she was always a millionaire, but she had like a $6,400 mortgage, and I don't know, I can't do the math on that, but I'm sure she had like other expenses in life.
Alcohol, all that.
So I was an alcoholic from like the first time I drank, I was 11, and I was a blackout drinker from when I was 14 years old, but I started dabbling in it when I was 11 years old. By the time I was 14, I was an alcoholic.
And that lasted until when?
When I was 22, I found cocaine, and then I became a sugar baby. And I would like date and live with these guys for like 4 or 5 years. I would recreate the relationship I had with my grandpa. And then when I was 36, getting sober from drugs and alcohol, my main addiction was being a sugar baby. So I spent a lot of time in Sex and Love Addicts Anonymous.
But this was one guy at a time or multiple?
It was one guy at a time. And then I would like look for others because I had a place in Costa Rica, and like sometimes I would look for others, but it was always like one guy at a time.
Mm-hmm.
So when I got sober, I realized like, holy shit, I have a $6,400 a month mortgage and I was getting $14,000 a month in child support. And now I didn't have my kids. So it was 13,800 exactly. So I didn't have that. And I was like, what do? I need men's money, but I'm not willing to sell my body because I can't numb out. So Flow Strokes was born, but I called it a dominant massage. So I would have willing participants who wanted, I didn't know at the time, but I was enacting my trauma on them. I had willing participants who wanted to get brutalized. And I would get their consent. And every time I got a new one, I would have to add things to the list because someone would come and I would like slap them, or they'd call me and be like, I got bruised. So I would have to add those things like, you might get bit, I might rip your clothes, like stuff would come out of me. I'm like, oh, I got to add that to the consent.
See, like this could be like a Netflix movie. I think someone could make this into a Netflix movie.
No one ever said no to anything. So these men would.
So you were a dominatrix?
I didn't think of it. I said it was a dominant massage because I wanted to play music and dance on them and stomp on them. And then if they even looked at me, I would slap them or kick them and say, relax, which is not relaxing. Like they needed to be dead weight and just let me beat them up. So I guess like it was more brutal than a dominatrix because they had to be like, pretend they were unconscious. And they would get bruised and hurt.
This was one guy at a time.
Oh, one guy at a time. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
But I mean, they were selling like hotcakes, these dominant massages.
I'll bet.
So at 14 months sober, I had like this profound awakening and I was going to school for hypnotherapy, yoga.
This is another thing I didn't know. Like, I didn't know she was a hypnotherapist, which is interesting. Like, Darren Brown is a hypnotherapist. I think, I guess Chris Angel would be. Chris Angel does hypnosis. I don't know if Daisy's the best person to know hypnosis.
And by this time I was a CMT. And all of a sudden, I thought I hated men and I thought all men were trash. And then I had this huge awakening. I was doing a lot of breath work and I got so high off breath work because your brain releases dimethyltryptamine. This is
Oprah had a worse childhood. Oprah turned out all right. Did she turn out all right? I mean, she's Oprah. People like her.
being sober, California sober, because I smoke marijuana. I had this awakening where I was like, oh my God, I don't hate men. I was just afraid of them. And all of a sudden I wanted to love them. So they would come for healings now. And I would do these like, you are so lovable hypnotherapy, because I was a hypnotherapist and I was also a yoga instructor. So now instead of dancing on them to hurt them, and I wanted them to be hurt, and oh, if they even looked at me with any lust,
She still dances on people's backs though. Like that's what one of the crazier things that I've seen her do. I was like, she's gonna break someone's back one of these days.
it was like, then I really got to beat them up and let them have it. But now I wanted to connect with these men, and it became my work. When the men did objectify me, I knew that it was something within me I needed to heal. And the way to heal it was by loving them.
Was she? I didn't even know Oprah was. I don't know much about Oprah. I just know that she gives away cars. She's like, you get a car, you get a car. And then like she's got like a philanthropist angle. She's like, oh yeah, I donate a lot of money. I know she's on Epstein Island. That's not good.
And then all of a sudden I knew I wouldn't attract this anymore.
Yeah, I hate opera too. Come on, people.
So 14 months was when I had this profound awakening, and I had many more after that. Flow Strokes was born, and I was so excited. So I was all alone. When you first get sober, everything falls away and you don't have any of your old friends. So I started telling people in my dance studios and yoga studios, like, I made this amazing thing up called Flow Strokes. And I was so excited.
And people were like, that sounds kind of weird and crazy.
But when I would tell people, they would think it was so weird, like they would stop being my friend. So I had to like figure out how to create Flow Strokes by myself. And if you want, we could videotape a little bit of it, or you could look it up, Flow Strokes. I literally dance on bodies. And I knew it was going to be magical, but I had to like figure out how to create it. So I was having these visions. I was in Huntington Beach. My kids were in separate foster homes.
I think this is when I didn't know that she just like moved out of her place one day and set up like a house made out of furniture on the top of the beach, and like that was kind of her origin story in Venice. But it's kind of crazy. This is a pretty crazy story.
I was getting ridden hard through the system, and being of service and my spirituality was the only thing that was keeping me alive. And the huge vein on my forehead was still there. I don't remember when it disappeared, but
From the stress of it all?
yeah,
Yeah.
and from crying all the time. And so it's almost been 6 years since I lost my kids. But flow strokes was what helped me heal. And I was in Huntington Beach. I kept having these visions like I'm going to be on the beach somewhere. So I had this situation where COVID started. This woman who was staying with me was like, oh, I don't have to leave. So I didn't want to live with her. It was
If anyone knows who that woman is, let me know too, because I'm interested in like the woman who just decided to squat in Daisy's house, and she was the one who was like, "Fuck this, I'm out of here." Is that woman still there to this day? Like, who is this woman?
just supposed to be short term. So I left my place, and it was like the universe pushing me to this vision. So I ended up at Venice Beach. I took everything I owned.
What, on my chat? Is my chat like minimum? Why is it that? I'm just here. I'll just keep playing. I'm just that shouldn't be.
And I literally moved to the beach at Breeze Avenue, and there was a hilltop. And I walked up the hill, and I put a sign that said the Healing Hut. And I was like, this is where I'm going to do God's work. And
You have a tent or something like that?
I made like a house out of furniture. And I put like a mirror on top. Like,
see, a house out of furniture with a mirror on top. So I guess so she can like see herself when she's laying down.
And then 2 weeks later, I built a yoga studio that had 11-foot ceilings, wood flooring. Parks and Recs came, and they were like, what are you doing? You can't build on the beach. And I looked at everyone. I said, keep building. And the cops already knew who I was because I was there for 2 weeks healing everyone. And I was changing the culture at the beach, where around my hill, it was like all love and healing and yoga and nonviolent communication, which is Marshall Rosenberg's the psychologist that created that. And we'll go into that later. But the LAPD was like, let her build. So this yoga studio was there for over 3 months until they finally tore it down because we were doing amazing things.
Thank you, Brian. Yeah, I seen that she was like to the GoFundMe, and I was like, I won't interrupt. Someone's like, you're interrupted too much. That's what I do. If you guys want it, like this is up on YouTube right now. If you did want to watch it without my commentary, but I was expecting it not to be.
And I had women come in with road rash on their back from getting raped. I had men. This one guy had a stab wound on his head, and he had a gun, and he's gonna go shoot this person. And we would just give empathy until all of a sudden, instead of going to shoot this person, he ended up doing yoga all day and then totally forgot about it. So we were doing amazing things. We had people who went through Deepak Chopra trainings and other yoga instructors, and other people were coming to volunteer. And when they took my yoga studio down, I continued my work. And at that time, like I had completely exited market economy, because this beautiful thing that I had created, and I consider.
Well, that's interesting. So the old story was that her landlord kicked her out, so she moved during COVID. So she's just lying. She's lying on us.
Myself a master. I felt like my work was not being honored. Number one, when you charge for it, you leave yourself open for solicitation and for more objectification and for people trying to coerce you into stuff you don't want to do. And I decided my work was too sacred, that this was my meaning and purpose. And in Venice, I learned how to dance on bodies, and flow strokes turned into a beautiful, gorgeous art. And ever since, I decided if money exchanges hands, it's not flow strokes.
So you do it for no monetary.
I won't touch money. I haven't touched money in years.
But she definitely like gets a lot of stuff that costs a lot of money.
And you're living where now?
Right now, I
like this joke strokes.
Because it sounds like
I fell in love with my best friend. So
but it sounds like you had money in the past. Did you lose it all?
So, I mean, I just got a $34,000 butt implant surgery I didn't pay for. I have access to groceries at the beach. Like this morning,
I have access to groceries at the beach. I guess like well, she already said that she's not homeless. She did say that earlier, right? Is this interview different than the one I seen? I'm pretty sure like she let in with that. Or maybe he asked it later. But basically, like he's like, "Are you homeless?" He's like, "No, I fell in love with my best friend. I live there." But she has access to like the grocery on the beach. We've seen her take groceries, and the volunteers were like, "Can you not do that?" And she's like, "Don't worry about it. You know I keep this place running with my fake booty." So I think that's what she means by that. So she doesn't have to pay for her hips. She doesn't have to pay for anything. She's like the dentist, the tattoo artist, everything. Like I just got people. And that's why she thinks it's a kind of sweet mentality, almost like a sweet sentiment to think, well, anyone, if I can do this, anyone else can. But not everyone is Daisy here. You know what I mean? Not everyone can sweet talk their way into having people, professionals, give you shit for free.
we just got done feeding hundreds of people because 7 days a week our nonprofit picks up food and feeds people 5 days a
Literally.
week in Redondo and 2 days a week in Venice. The guy who does my tattoos is at Brooks and Oceanfront Walk. My money's no good there. Same thing with my dentist. My money's no good there. I believe in a world where we can have relationships and trust instead of exchange. And then it will be something like someone came up to me and my partner yesterday, who him and his wife do fruit juice. He's like, "Here, have a lemonade, both of you." And my heart was overflowing with love. I said, "You and your wife come and see me for a healing."
Where I can hypnotize you into giving me a free smoothie every time I see you, every time I say Badama or whatever, you know, and then like you can come back. I can jump around on your back to get stressed out.
Now, I used to charge $300 to do my hypnotherapy, magical body work. And now for the cost of a lemonade, because my heart is full, I'm doing it. And I believe in this world where, because I do my beautiful body work for someone, they do all of my dental work. This is the world.
Oh, I don't think the mental illness is fake. I think she's in denial. She doesn't think she's crazy because she gets into being like, "Oh, they 5150 me if they don't like what I'm saying." I think she needs to get help, but like she just won't accept it. So it's kind of a predicament. And then I said this before too. I'm too far in. We need to see sense at this point. And then she also did like the crossover. She was like, Stevie Meanie. Rah, rah, rah. But no, I think there's definitely something untreated there that she should probably, if she hasn't already, like listen to whatever doctor has diagnosed her. Unless like the doctors are like, there's nothing wrong with you and you're just manipulating people, which would be crazy. That would be an even crazier plot twist, in my opinion. That'd be some M. Night Shyamalan shit.
Where we won't have barriers like this person who wants to be a dentist so badly and is so passionate about it, who can't do it because they can't pay or they can't travel or they can't, like, how many things that we want to do we can't do because of industry, market economy, something in our way that really, like, there's no reason for it to be in our way. And I made the decision to feel the pinch of the market economy and to have nothing but a twinkle in my eye. Sometimes I go without my needs, but I come with the vulnerability of presenting to people on a beautiful
A twinkle in my eye. Her eyes are really, I'll say expressive. Her eyes are very expressive in this interview.
platter so they could pick up like little hors d'oeuvres that they want to enjoy. These are my needs. Would you love to be interdependent with me and meet needs together? Let's collaborate. How can I make your life more wonderful? Here's how you can make my life wonderful. And it took me 2 years of doing healings for Tattoo Guy, and the dentist guy would just hear me do speeches, and all of a sudden now it's catching on. And now Venice Beach, which has a really strong community, I mean, we're starting a movement.
And there's flow strokes. There's no.
I don't know this Ben Affleck movie. So is he? I don't. She's saying she invented flow strokes, because I know Jill was saying that like she's seen some other lady doing it as well. Like, did she start a movement?
Sex involved?
No. Although it is a really tantric, amazing practice for couples.
See, her and John's, they started hooking up because of flow strokes.
So like that practice is sacred. And so John and I have been enjoying flow strokes together, but the tantric-y flow strokes, I mean, I haven't been able to enjoy that with anyone.
I mean, I could put a 5-year-old in a mental hospital. I think every 5-year-old's a little mental. Like all I'm saying is like I don't think it would take much to get like have a parent submit their kid to a mental hospital. They're like they're crazy. I'm the adult, believe me. You know what I mean? So like I'm not saying she wasn't crazy at 5, but how crazy could she have been? You know, I don't know. I don't know. If this is like maximum crazy, it's not that like she's crazy, but not that crazy. I think Heather's crazier. She might be just more. She's better at the game. You know, Heather's terrible at the game, and she has like a very inflated sense of ego. Heather. I mean, she does too, but like at least she can like kind of back it up a bit. Like that's my opinion, anyways.
For years since like before my ex-husband, our divorce is final August 10th. I was never able to relax with him. We had like a really volatile marriage, and he helped me learn not to be violent, to not be available for certain things that are toxic in relationships. And I never got to connect deeply with him at that level. And the past week I've been connecting that way with John, but the flow strokes I do at the beach is a different style. It's a different version. It's clothed. I had women in my home yesterday. I was doing flow strokes for.
I forgot to do the bingo card. Hello, Moando. I forgot to do the bingo.
So it is something that I love. It's an art, and it's not supposed to be sexual unless it's between consenting people with the sacred bond. That's one thing I hate about market.
Yeah, so like I thought it was interesting when I was seeing this for the first time. She had just gone to jail, right? So I was like, she's in jail. John doesn't have the money to get her out. He's like asking us for money, like the audience, right? I consider myself the audience because I'm watching this content. And then she's cut off and blocked every other guy in the He Hive. So it's up to John when she gets out. That's how I was seeing it. I was like, what the fuck is this? How the hell did this happen? And like days as well. I think they were dating for 5 days before they both went to jail. Like that might be a sign that they might not be the best for each other. Just saying. Maybe.
Market economy is then everything is for sale.
I actually completely disagree with this. Actually, like I don't think that this is in her, what is it, sacred economy where everything's just traded. Like I can write songs, so I will write you a song and then you have to give me potatoes or something, right? I could just be like, well, I know you need potatoes, Steve, so you're gonna have to do something extra. And the song's not gonna cut it. I don't really like songs anyways, but I know you need potatoes. So you know, she's saying, I guess she's like, she doesn't like if she's doing these crazy massages or whatever, and they're like trying to tip her extra to get a little extra something. So she's like, if I just take away money completely, that solves the problem. But like, it's a very privileged viewpoint. And it's crazy that a homeless person is thinking this way. This is just what I think.
So tell me about your arrangement you would like to have with your men.
Oh, okay. Well, so right
you're looking to have how
now,
many men roughly?
4 to 12. John is
4 to 12 at a time. That's a lot.
wired for monogamy, and he is not wired. Like that way of being hurts him.
He's going to have a hard time when there's 10 other guys.
So John is my twin flame, and he's someone who I don't need to have these other men if I'm with him.
Oh, I see.
Mm-hmm. So the He Hive has been released.
Oh, I see.
Some other goddess can have them.
I like how it's just like some other god. They can all just flock to another goddess. They can't find their own women or whatever. It's Dace is a funny lady, you know.
Got it.
I fell in love with my best friend.
Do you have any regrets in your life?
Yeah. When my children were little, I told women who would watch them, you don't have to get them out of their crib if they're cry, just let them cry. Stuff like that. That was really traumatizing, and I wasn't able to protect my children. I have a lot of regrets because I was never stood up for or protected. So now I know how to advocate for myself. I know how to advocate for others, but that's a regret, is not having the capacity of being able to advocate for my children, and recreating the same trauma. And I regret coaching my boys that men are trash and they're only supposed to be providers.
So again, remember, John is like there listening to all this. Like, so John is aware of like what she's done, why the kids were taken and everything. It wasn't just like a conspiracy or whatever. I guess he's more concerned. It's like, it's been 6 years, okay? 6 years. But like, I don't, if this was how bad it was, and this is also what Daisy is choosing to tell us and choosing to present. I don't think it would be fair to her to like look into like the DCFS cases to specifically see what was wrong. So I only go off of what she said, but if even what like half of what she's saying is true, it's not good. It's not good at all. The same thing with Heather. Like, I don't do that with Heather shit. Like, we take Heather somewhat at her word, and then like the other public people involved. So like, I don't know. It's interesting. It's interesting, John was so it's a mountain out of a molehill was the impression I got out of him.
Which is toxic gender role. I don't believe that. I believe that we're all free. That because we all buy into this, whatever this is, that we don't have to buy into it, that we could ask what is a more empowering, elevating, life enriching way of being, and what is our nature. And our biology is to use the most amount of love and the most amount of care and the least amount of force and control. And the whole men are providers. Men have to go die for their country. Men have to. It enslaves men. And I got really good at enslaving men.
So I don't know if like she's saying society got really good at enslaving men, or she got really good at enslaving men. I've listened to it back like 3 times. I think she's saying I got really good at enslaving men. I mean, like, kind of. I mean, based off what she's describing, but it could be either or. So, and this is when I was like, I get why people don't like her. You know what I mean? She has had a really bad upbringing, obviously. I guess she could be worse. Like, obviously she could be worse, but she could, and I can't like fault her for trying, even though like I think she's got a long way to go. And I think she's got a lot of self-discovery to do yet. And it's probably going to be a long process, but as long as she's like heading in the right direction, I can't fault her for that. It's just like, I get it. I get why, especially mothers in general, someone who has kids would be upset with how Daisy has conducted herself, and like how she also wants to be involved in other kids' lives, even though she has her kid taken. Like, that doesn't make sense to me. And I wouldn't be comfortable with that. So, no, I get it.
And you're in Venice, which is a perfect place to have these.
Oh, it rains
beliefs.
men in my world. But you know, now whenever they text my phone, I just block them and erase them. And I'm just letting go and letting God. I don't plan anything, but I don't have any desire of talking to any other guy right now, which is very, very unusual for me.
So John, who you met on Wednesday, this one's for life.
No, John's been my best friend for a long time. But Wednesday, I did a healing for him, and I went into a deep hypnotic trance, and then we just started hooking up.
So you hypnotized John into hooking up, or he hypnotized you? Your guys are just hypnotized by each other.
But this one's going to last?
I guess we'll see.
Yes, we will.
That's a better answer than we're twin flames. Everything's great. Blah, 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 blah. You know, it's only been 5 days. We'll see. It's only been 5 days. We haven't even been to jail yet.
If not, he'll be a good teacher.
But the money that you had, you said you had a house and things like that.
Yeah.
That's no longer?
No, I was able to float everything for like 2 years, and I sold my house in LA, and then I was renting a 6-bedroom house in Huntington Beach, and I just kept floating everything, and my bills were so high. I actually didn't run out of money for like 2.5 years.
That's still a lot of money to blow through in 2 years, though, right? Like, I don't know how you could, especially if she's not paying rent anywhere. She's living on the beach just with all her furniture and stuff. What are you spending all the money on? Was she paying for her own plastic surgery? No, she wasn't, because she gets into like, ooh, Maybe they took that name out. She gets into like all these specific people who have paid for her plastic surgery over the years, and I'm like, what? Okay. So I don't know what she's spending the money on. If she hasn't touched money in, what did she say, in 2 years? She must have really blown through it fast when she did have money.
And then I was
But
homeless.
she also said she wasn't doing drugs after she had her kids taken either, because she's trying to get them back. So I don't know. I was gonna say maybe she's spending on drugs, but that's a lot of money to spend on weed.
But you seem happier now than
Way
you've been.
happier. Way happier, because before I was living in fight or flight, and I would objectify people, even women. Like, you know, when I got sober, it was clear that I didn't have any real friends. And my family was not there for me. And I only have love from my family. I've tried really hard to bring us together, because my brother, my sister, my mom, and I are all estranged.
Under the fucking palm trees. That's right, Ryan.
No one talks.
Mm.
My 2 boys were in 3 different placements, and my daughter was in 3 different placements. So my 2 boys got adopted by my mom. She was the 3rd placement. My daughter got adopted by strangers. They all vouched to not allow me to see them. And I just keep going with love, not knowing my mom was creating a rap sheet for me this thick. So I had like 9 warrants for my arrest, because every time I would drop off gifts and tell them I love them, my mom told my boys, like, oh, if your mom comes, you're going to, and I believe that DCFS probably said this to her, because they'll tell people, like, if you let this child see this person, we're going to take them away. So I do believe they told my mom these boys are going to go to a group home.
See, and that's what I don't like either. So if she's like basically saying like the kids are probably gonna get placed in a group home if I kept showing up. But I did anyways, because like I wanted to see my kids. But that's terrible, because like at least the kids are with a family member, right? I guess she probably has resentment for her mom, or doesn't like her mom, or whatever. But that's still better being with the grandmother than just being in a foster care system, right? I also didn't know, because she says here that they were in a foster care system before they were placed with the grandma. So they've already experienced that. I don't know why John's retort to me when I was like, are they with the kids? Is like, well, not the daughter. The daughter isn't with the mom. I thought all the kids were with the mom during the interview I did with John. And the boys still had to go through, I think, a couple other placements before that. So that's like, why would you continually show up? And the kids, I'm assuming if the kids are scared, they're going to be telling you why you can't show up. And you're just like, fuck it. So that, does she still try to show up to the kids? Because I thought that the court that she was going to as well was because she was violating the restraining order. So like, I don't know. This made me shaking my head at Daisy.
So I would show up and my boys would be terrified. Like, no, mom, you can't be here. Meanwhile, they're calling the cops, getting me a rap sheet. And I'm not saying this with blame. I think it's because my mom wanted to protect the boys. So I have 4 court dates coming up, and it's a monkey circus. So I like to go in and say, I don't give my consent. I'm not available. And then 10 sheriff's deputies will follow me around, and I'll do speeches. And I've been in and out of the system. I've been to jail many times. 5150s for my speeches, because if they can't arrest you, then they'll make something up to get you locked up for being crazy. And I got so good at not getting arrested, because I got arrested so much that like now I'll actually run away from the cops on my skateboard.
Is that how you get around now?
See, I thought she's like, I got so good at not getting arrested. She was basically saying like, I'm never going to get arrested again. And I think it was either this day or the day after. I might have been I think it was this day, that she ended up getting arrested. And the only difference is John. So I don't know.
Yeah.
On a skateboard?
Oh yeah. They'll chase me because of me skateboarding topless at the beach. Like I'll get
Does
naked
John have kids?
and walk to the ocean, and I'll be walking back, and the cops will just be like, Daisy, get dressed. And I'll jokingly be like, come on, chase me, make it fun before I get dressed. And they're like, no, Daisy, we're not going to chase you. Just get dressed. Like they won't even like arrest me now. So, which is cool. I guess they realize it doesn't do any good to arrest me because I like it.
You like it?
It's a little cat mouse game we play, and
I don't think she liked this last time she got arrested.
sometimes I try to switch it. Like, I'll give you an example. The other day I was chasing these cops down the boardwalk on my skateboard, and I was like, if I catch your car, I'm going to sketch on it, which means you grab the bumper and take a ride. So they go all the way to the end. And when they got to Santa Monica, they start to make a U-turn. I'm like, oh shit, I'm going to catch you when you flip a bitch. So instead of taking a U-turn, they go, "Arr!" and they turn like 180 the other way, and they drove across the grass on South Beach Park, all the like going as fast as they can. And you just see this goddess pick up her skateboard and run after them. So I like chase that. So we switched the game. So now it's mouse cat, where I
Mouse cat. Say cat mouse, it's mouse cat.
chase them. And I mean, now all the cops love me at the beach, and my work's starting to get recognized. But at first, like, I needed a year and a half to rage. I needed a year and a half to scream and yell, to be violent, not violent like where I hurt people, but to learn how to discharge violence and discharge anger. And
Is anger your
On Prince's dog.
the emotion you have the most trouble with?
not anymore, because I gave myself that opportunity. But I think a lot of us were told, like, oh, no, like, parts of you are not okay. You need to brush yourself up to be more palatable for others. And your violence and anger is unacceptable. So then a lot of us kind of like push it down. And I found out that by pushing it down, it was like locking a dragon in a cage. And instead of locking my dragon in a cage, she's just going to break out anyways if somebody offends me or hurts me. And then my dragon's going to burn everything down, and I don't have these relationships. I can't go here anymore. So instead of locking my dragon in a cage, I decided to invite her out, and now I ride her. And
That's scary. I don't know why there's this big, long kind of view of her.
we soar through the clouds, and instead of burning everything down, we shoot fireworks. And she might light my hair on fire, but my hair just gets longer and fuller and more magical, and everything I touch turns to gold. And I believe that our anger and violence is a beautiful treasure that carries wisdom, because if we dissolve the toxic top layers and harvest the wisdom from underneath, it carries with it our universal needs, that which makes life even more wonderful. So if we can draw our attention to those needs and put our energies and focus there, then that's what will expand. So instead of acting out my anger and stuff, I would just find out, like, what am I going to bat for? And that's the non-controversial element where we can all join each other, because we all have the same universal needs.
Welcome to LA, boys.
Mm-hmm. It's a great awakening. So welcome to high-tech heaven on earth, I like to call it.
So the last time we spoke with Daisy, she said she wasn't even smoking weed, but she was on like the muscle relaxers. And it's like that's why she was like, I'm dying, the near-death experience. Mamma mia. So I don't think she's smoking. At least that's what she said, but maybe.
And instead of humans, I like to call us the super squad, superheroes.
So how Daisy, how do you?
And why do we got just the leggings? I guess they're just leggings. I was gonna say the leggings of socks, but maybe they're just called leggings.
Like butt implants, dental work, things
Okay,
like
yes.
eating food, clothes.
Ah, okay, he does that on every video.
Plastic surgery. Everyone loves to know about that.
It costs
Okay.
money.
So I got my boobs done when I was 30 years old, right after my birthday. And I only had one huge regret, that I didn't do it sooner. My first boob job was amazing. Then I was with this Nobel Prize
Leg warmers, thank you.
winning doctor, Vincent Gempapa.
Vincent Jim Papa, okay.
And he was a plastic surgeon. So without even doing my due diligence, he put me under, he gave me a nose job. He gave me a chin implant. He liposectioned my neck so I could have like this beautiful jawline. He gave me new boobies and a new butt. And he botched me. I did not like my nose.
So she's mad at this guy that she got pre-plastic surgery from because like she didn't like her nose. She didn't like, I think she got her ass or maybe her boobs done. but she said she did like the chin, which is like the chin. The scar mark is pretty notable. I don't really see much scarring anywhere else. I won't say too much. Whoops.
I didn't like my boobs. I didn't like my butt. I like what he did to my chin though. He did Reese Witherspoon's chin. He knows how to do it with like these little, he's like got that down really good. So I've had total 3 boob jobs and 5 butt jobs and 2 nose jobs.
But he paid for everything, or doctor?
No, just whatever man I said, you pay for it.
Oh, I see.
Okay, well, like she still didn't pay for it, but yeah, other guys were paying. This dude who was also like seeing her as like a sugar daddy kind of scenario. She did not just do. She did this like about a week and a bit ago. I remember. I feel like it was like 2 weeks. There was like rumors that she did the interview, but we weren't sure. And then like a day or two after she was arrested, and then we're like, is the interview going to come out? I think it actually came out. Not the day she was arrested, maybe a couple days after. Time blurs together for me, so I might be getting my timeline wrong, but it came out after she was arrested for sure. I just don't remember exactly when after. And then she took it down, re-uploaded it because she had to take someone's name out.
And
I mean,
that's how you
guys, there's no shortage of guys who want to pay for me.
Is that how you get a lot of things done, whether it's dental work or clothes or food?
No, I mean, I don't use sex anymore. My most recent partner, who's also named Jeff, not Perfect Prince. I call him Sweet Sweet. Sweet Sweet. We have a contract that I owe him 19% interest on a $34,000 loan, and for my booty. And we were supposed to open a yoga studio together, and I was going to be the master teaching yoga. And the day of my surgery, this thing like shifted in him. I don't know what happened, but he attacked me. And I haven't seen him since the morning of my surgery.
Jeff too broke the TV when she said there's no shortage of guys. Had he met Daisy before him? Did he really? I don't know why I'm so surprised. That's crazy.
I went into surgery shaking because he scared me. And the nurse told me that she doesn't, she can't control what I do afterwards, but she's responsible for me as long as I'm there. And as long as I'm there, she's not releasing me to him. And if she finds out that he's going to be there while I'm recovering, she's not releasing me. So I told him that, and that really helped me just to like create the separation.
You're joking, Jill. This is the first time Jill's got me. I take everything Jill says as complete fact. Imagine him watching this and breaking the TV. Oh, I see what you're saying. Like he's watching this right now and is like, no shortage of men. I thought they were having like a discussion, and you got this on live stream. I'd be like, we gotta see that. I need to see if there's any archives of any of Daisy's channel. I don't think there's like any archives for Daisy. We gotta start archive channel for Daisy. Mamma mia. Whoa.
And then I kind of like we've been seeing a therapist, and we had our last therapy appointment on Thursday, and John and I hooked up on Wednesday. And so,
So your last therapy appointment was with your husband?
Jeff is not my husband. So they're both named Jeff. Half the men in America are named Jeff. So
I don't know if that's true either. Are half the men in America named Jeff? I'm gonna look that up. That can't be right. I don't know. I don't live in America though, but like I don't think so.
A good chance you're gonna marry one. So Jeff is the son of Nicholas. His dad is on the Oprah Winfrey
So that's that was an edit.
Website. He's been on her show a bunch. He's known as the salmon doctor. He's the one who got everyone to start eating salmon. And if you Google him, he sold half his company for $100 million, the other half for
What was it?
$60 million. And when I met my perfect prince, he had a $4 million trust fund that ran out 3 months after I met him. So that was hard for him. And we had a pretty rocky marriage because here's this trust fund kid who he had like this beautiful, like almost $4,000 a month, beautiful apartment in Venice Beach. and we had to move into like this little teeny tiny studio from this big beautiful place. And that was not hard for me, but it was really hard for him.
Do you guys think Daisy's the reason why his trust fund ran now? Like, well, I was doing fine before, and then all of a sudden it's gone.
And at that time, I thought I like had worked with the violence in me, but because we were doing violence together, I still had work to do. So I took that relationship from the red zone to the green zone, which red zone is like get out or get help. And the green zone is like, oh, these things don't have. So I just wasn't available for it by the end. I used to go to the neighbor's house. As soon as things would get volatile, I would just walk next door. And there was one time he grabbed me from the steps and threw me in the bushes right in front of my neighbor because I was on her steps. And he threatened to shoot me, kill me to the neighbors.
I don't remember that part. Maybe I'm just bad at remembering, but I don't think you met a Jeff. You lived in America for 24 years. I was trying to find out. First name Jeff, national statistics. There are 158 people named Jeff for every 100,000 Americans. That's not half.
And they were making police reports, and I wasn't even dealing with him. They were talking to him. So through the community, he stopped attacking me. And when our relationship was like in this healing container and he couldn't attack me anymore, he just started ghosting me. And ever since then, like I used to have guys come up to me. This is what I mean about when you heal it inside.
Wait, Daisy is the reason his parents, who are divorced, both refused to fund him if he married her, but he thought he loved her, so he married her anyway. Ooh. And that's why they moved into that small ass apartment. Shit, I thought he was just like spending all his money on, I don't know. She said he was an alcoholic, but like I thought maybe, I don't know, like speedboats. I don't know why speedboats are the first thing that comes into my brain. He seemed like a speedboat kind of guy, you know?
Inside, everyone else disappears. I used to like attack men with my skateboard. And there's this one guy, John the bully, who I maced in the face twice. I hit him as hard as I could with my skateboard. I used to have men come up in their cars masturbating, and I would have to hit their cars. Like these men would appear out of nowhere to attack me, and I would have to fight them. When I did my work with Prince, all of a sudden these men, like they weren't there anymore. John the bully still bugs me. He's on the boardwalk. But now, like, it doesn't bother me anymore. Now I've learned.
I like remember when she used to call him John the rapist. I was like, you can't call someone that. But I still don't know what he did, because she's like, I beat him with my skateboard, I maced him. He's just an evil guy. We're not gonna say what he did. Other people, you know, they've driven up and just started like whacking off to me. But John the bully, fuck that guy. He's still on Venice Beach. Fuck him. Why isn't he leaving? I want to know what he did.
I've learned how to love him. The way that I got these guys to stop bugging me is, as soon as it would happen, I would just love them as if they were my own child, love them as if it's me watching myself from another body. Like, this is the same spirit as me. What are the similarities instead of what are the differences? Instead of thinking about what's wrong with this person, what are they actually feeling and needing? What's the beautiful?
No, but she's more dangerous because she can get shit done a lot better than Heather. Heather is like a failure to launch. Daisy gets everything she wants, and she's living pretty comfortably. Look, she is a felon who is carrying a firearm, and they're like, don't worry, Daisy, we'll let you out of jail. She was gonna face 3 years in prison. They're like, don't worry about it, we got you. I don't want her to go to jail, but like, she does get some privilege, it seems like, anyways.
Beautiful call to love underneath. And yeah, maybe you're going to ask me about A Call to Love, my nonprofit, soon.
Tell me about that.
Yeah, maybe, Ryan. Maybe try to give her back. Money. I don't touch that shit.
A Call to Love LA.com is our kind of like makeshift website we just got up. And our goal is to take domination government to self-governing.
So, and this was, like I said, I haven't seen any updates on anything. Maybe we'll go to the actual site, like a calltolove.com, to see. Call to Love LA. Delive.com. Let's take a look. Take a look. Whoa. Okay, so we did post the update here. Well, this is from the Instagram feed. Full charges dropped. Oh, you guys can't see what I'm saying because I opened a different tab. But last update 13 hours ago. What did they update? Have no idea. Blog. 6 days ago, so that's not it. Events. Can't be under events. Flow strokes. Hey yo. Okay, so like I don't know what changed. Looks all the same to me. Let's get back to this thing over here. Whoops. There we go.
Market economy to sacred economics. And the way we're going to do that is by meeting needs. So on our website, people will be able to go on and they could click anything from shelter to food to child protective services, family services, to domestic violence, suicide, any need, gardening, groundskeeping. And we will replace every single department of government with self-governing. So what that looks like is, let's say, so next door and neighborhood are apps where if there's a police call or EMS call, everyone's notified. So we'll have the same tech.
That's not a good idea though, because there's lots of different angles on why this is a bad idea. Maybe like people running some organized crime would be tipped off if there was like something, a drug bust or something going on. It also has the opportunity for shady, bad characters, bad actors to apply for Daisy's fucking thing. They don't even need to apply because it's going to go to the whole community. And they can kind of cover shit up before the police even get there, or just compromise a crime scene. You know, like it's not, there's a reason why that shit isn't just broadcast to the public. At least, like, I don't think the police like it when it is. I know you can like listen to police scanners and stuff, but Daisy's like encouraging this kind of behavior, which is dangerous, scary. She also thinks like her and John are equipped enough to be able to deal with situations that are probably out of their depth. But this was all before they went to jail. And I'm glad that they haven't continued this legal mess because they're already in enough legal trouble with like the court thing to think this was a good idea pursuing this, because I just scare it's 100% not a good idea.
Technology so people can choose, like I could choose, okay, anyone in a 5-block vicinity that needs suicide help or domestic violence or children and family services, anything from babysitting to child abuse, I will respond. And other people can respond. And if it's a call in their vicinity, they'll
Why is Daisy, a mother who has all of her kids taken away for child abuse, going to be responding to the scenes of child abuse?
intercept before DCFS, before LAPD, and you could have like 1 to 20 people show up, and it's based off willingness and capacity, kind of like Alcoholics Anonymous. There's been 90 years. No,
this is completely different. Vigilantism, called to vigilantism. Alcoholics Anonymous don't like go out and pretend to be superheroes, as Daisy describes herself, and take the law literally into their own hands because she thinks like the community is better at dealing with the problems than the police. Maybe some communities. I don't think Venice Beach. I'm just going to go out on a limb and say I don't think Venice Beach. It seems pretty crazy there from what we've seen through Daisy's perspective. And just like other people like that, the Venice Gallery and Santa Monica Close Up, like seems like there's a lot of interesting people there.
No controversy, no scandal, because everything's based off willingness and capacity. There's no leaders, no rulers, no rules, no laws, no governors. There's no dues, there's no fees. You could do anything you want. You could make a mistake. You could attack people. People will say you're lovable no matter what. Keep coming back. It works till you work it. They'll let you do a 4th and 5th step where literally you could do any crime, anything, and someone will tell you you are lovable.
Also bad. We're going to show up on scene. Someone's murdering someone. You are so lovable. Keep doing it. Like what? And what training? Who said that this is how you deal with things? Like this is just how Daisy thinks things should be dealt with. Yeah, Trisha. So if her phone works, if it doesn't work, you're just gonna like stay on the line until she gets her. She'll be on the phone with Cleveland housewife, just talking about random shit, and people be like, "I'm dying. I need Daisy."
Good job. You said it in front of God. Don't admit this because it's going to get you in trouble. We're going to hold you and you will have a spiritual awakening. And I think that's the big problem with government is it replaces relationships and interdependence and trust. And then you have people who it's a recipe for low capacity, and low capacity also translates to not caring. And if you don't care, then basically what happens to this person, there's going to be bad stuff. If someone cares, what happens to that person is going to be good stuff. There's going to be do-gooding. And if we don't care,
there's also reasons why investigations are done the way they're done. Like you could manipulate a situation. We've seen it with Dylan and Marissa, right? There's been some really interesting incidents that have happened where Dylan calls the police and he's saying like, "You did this to yourself, Marissa." And she's like, "I don't know what the fuck you're talking about." She's like, "So you're trying to get me arrested." It's like, "I'm not the one who's calling the cops. You're the one calling the cops." So if this is, and it already takes like, cops are trained to try kind of figure out what's going on between people like that, or like they'll do an interrogation. A mob is not equipped or knows how to do that. So like things could turn bad real quick. Like this is a stupid idea. There's a lot of reasons, but these are just some of them. Why is a stupid fucking idea?
we're going to use the most force and control and the least love and care. And if we are honoring our willingness and capacity, the 12th step means that each alcoholic, in order to hold on to their spiritual awakening, they have to give it away to someone else. So there's no dues or fees because the alcoholic benefits by helping other alcoholics. So this way, all the grannies will take care of the grounds and garden, not parks and recs and sanitation. All the
Oh yeah, so fuck jobs. We don't need jobs. We're more equipped than parks and sanitation.
parents like me who've been ridden hard through the court systems and lost their kids, we're going to go help the other parents. I'm going to help parents who, I choked my son once. I'm going to help parents learn how not to choke their kids. I hit my kids. Like I'm going to help people learn how not to hit their kids. And in my family,
remember the story. This is a long interview, but remember her own story that she would not hire a babysitter. She was conditioned to abuse her kids because that's how she was raised. And it wasn't until government intervention that the abuse stopped. So like, how the fuck is she going to teach anybody how not to abuse their kids when the thing that she's going up against is the only reason that they're not being abused right now, by her own words? Like, you know what I'm saying? So like, I don't know. I hope this crazy idea never takes off, but I do hope that like she continues to better herself. It's just like, this is taken on way too much. And even John said it. John's like, "This is a legal nightmare, Daisy. This is crazy. We shouldn't do this." And do it anyways. What's the worst that could happen?
Dogs got hit, elders, everyone got hit. So I had to learn not to do that. I'm the one who should be going, not these people who are there just to be an enforcer and see if you are doing a good thing or a bad thing. And we're entering into, in this pivotal, precious time, a new age. I call it the age of information. We're exiting the age of industry.
Daisy, you're an interesting girl.
We all are.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
That's a good way to end it. We all are. It's the end of the age of industry and the beginning of the age of, what did you say? Information. I thought you were going to say technology. Information. Okay. So if we search John, oh, good. His name is not John Goodman. I called him John Goodman. And someone was like, "Oh, his name is John Goodman." No. Oh, okay.
Don't accuse.
It's pretty good. I don't know why I called him John Goodman. It was. Oh wait, this is a whole story. There's a story about a bunch of nothing. Hold on. Let me get to the John part. If you're wondering what this is, it's a bunch of noise. So this is Hack Ride. They got 1,000 subs. Good for them. And this is DJ Electra. I've talked about her like a couple times before. She's like Daisy's friend, but then I've seen people say that that doesn't talk the greatest about her. But I don't know. I haven't seen her say anything nasty. Personally, I don't think so. She's an odd character, in my opinion, but aren't we all a little bit odd at the end of the day? But she uses this AI thing that twitches out a lot, and that's why I think she's odd. Anyways, this is her interview with John, where I think there's a lot of interesting things that John brings up. I referenced this interview in my interview, but people were saying that there's some discrepancies. So I thought we could go over this, and then we'll wrap it up there. Call it a day.
Hello, DJ
I like this person. I like. I think this is one of Oh no! It is one of us because Gumby said Mesmerelda dumped me for Stevie Meanie, so no more Team Daisy. So they're like, Steve Delive sucks. This is the first thing that sucks. That was highlighted.
Electra here. How's everyone doing?
Nice
Welcome
audio
to a
solo.
Catch 22 exclusive. This is not our normal day or time. It's not Tuesday, and we're not catching you next Tuesday. It is Friday, and I have an exclusive interview here today with, yes,
Jill. You are a woman of sleuthing. Yeah, it's weird, right? It's kind of weird.
John Allgood. Welcome, John. How are you doing?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Thank you for being here. So,
We got a clap track. What's this? A video of her back at the beach. Is she back? Like she is back on the beach? Like right meow? Hold on. Give me a second. Whoa. Gundam style. Hey! She is. Guys, she's back. This is from today. This was uploaded an hour ago. We've been streaming for about an hour. So hell yeah, she was released from jail after a week. Thanks to the support of her family, friends, and the community, on Wednesday, July 10th, the couple made an announcement on Venice Beach to express their gratitude and outline their future plans. John opened by thanking everyone who played a role in securing Daisy's release and highlighted the support that helped resolve the charges against her in just 6 days. He emphasized the importance of fair trials and the role of public officials in ensuring justice was served. Did Chat GPT write this? I feel like an AI wrote this. And I don't. We're probably just going to see this all in the interview. Whatever this is. Thank you, Jill. Jill on the trigger. Let's see. This is what I've been waiting for. Let's see what's going on here, guys. Look, she's back. I'm sorry, Bombay Beach. I was in the zone. Sometimes I don't read chat as much as I should be. Probably. I'm sorry, guys. Credit to Bombay. Thank you, Bombay. Thank you.
Cool.
Why don't you like Santa Monica close-up, Trisha? I actually don't know anything about him. I just see he just points cameras at things and we get to see it. So I appreciate him. But why don't you like him, Trisha?
You're free.
And wearing a shirt.
Beautiful.
Much more
Yeah.
autonomy. TBH is back at the beach. That's what's up.
Daisy's free. And we want to thank everybody that was involved, all the donations, support from family and friends that really made this miracle happen. I mean, this was huge turnaround to be able to get those charges.
Miracle? I'm pretty sure that they were just like, oh, we know Daisy. She's been in here like a bunch of times. Daisy had a gun? Really? John, why did you have a gun? He's like, I plead the fifth. And then I guess they just didn't think John was worth the time. What if Daisy's an undercover informant now? Because John's like, it's because of the gangs, the biker gangs. I got to protect myself. That's what I was seeing in the comments. People were like, he has the gun for protection against the gangs. And I'm like, really? What gangs?
Charges dropped within 6 days.
I'm not saying there's not gangs. I'm saying what gang is going to want John here?
Officials, everybody that was involved, thank you for hearing out a fair discussion. And really, we've heard everything that you guys have said.
Oh, Santa Monica Close-Up blocked you for comments on Daisy. Well, I mean, I'll let you guys say whatever you want here for the most part, but I could see why people wouldn't want feathers ruffled to keep, I guess, things on an even keel with Daisy, so she doesn't get mad at him, so he can keep filming her, so he can make money, I assume. But that's just my take. But maybe he's not evil. I don't know.
And we're looking to do good. And Daisy is here. She's safe. She's free. And we're looking to honor that, pay homage. So I just want to open up the floor. Tell us a little bit about how you're able to help out.
Well, they opened the doors to that sheriff's department, and I was like, okay, God, I'm getting on your bus now. So I stepped up onto God's bus.
Santa Monica Close-Up blocked you too, Jill? Did he block everyone? Santa Monica Close-Up.
And then the door shut. They didn't open again.
Well, how'd you get out?
Until Saturday morning, and they're like, go in the pen. So I was like, okay. And then the bus doors open, and then I got on God's bus.
Not the Soul Food Tuesday bus.
And my faith got so powerful and so strong. They put me in K9. It goes to 10. I was with the life sentencers, most of them murderers and violent criminals, because I'm a felon.
Shit, is that for real? If that's legit, that's crazy. Daisy's pretty crazy.
It's love missiles! Love tornado! Love you guys. Try not to smile. See, it's hard. And I just love everyone. And people, chickens, bugs, they love them. And I sang.
Yes, you did.
I made friends. My food was still medicine.
I don't know how. I think it's because he's wearing a shirt. John looks younger to me. He looks like he's like Daisy's time away has rejuvenated his. He's shaved too, maybe? I don't know.
So I did have some refined sugars, and the key is we're gonna do a video afterwards, and I'm gonna give some tips and tools for jail.
So we were given a fair trial, and all the evidence was brought forth to show that Daisy was innocent.
But then who was guilty of bringing a gun to the courthouse? Because like a cop, I think cops more than anyone would know what a fucking gun is, right? So I don't think they would mistake something else for a gun. So if they were charged with like possession of a firearm, I'm assuming there's a firearm. So like, how did we get out of that?
And I want to thank God, and I want to thank everybody that was a part on the official side for really honoring your work. And we'll continue to honor your work. We've had discussions to move forward with trying to make everything better for the current system that we have in the courthouse, the prisons, the jails, the sheriff's department.
I think he looks like I forgot to ask him this. I was gonna ask him if anyone told him he looks like Brad Pitt. I think he looks kind of like a Timu Fight Club Brad Pitt, mixed with there was somebody else. I think I said Tobey Maguire, but now I'm seeing like more like Ryan Dunn, like a Ryan Dunn Brad Pitt. I don't see Tobey Maguire anymore. That might have been someone else. I was telling Megan someone looked like Tobey Maguire, but I don't think it was this guy. Or maybe it was.
These guys are good people. I mean, they're doing their best with the limited resources that they have to honor their commitment to a just system. And this is a big win for women's rights. If you
It looks like Al Bundy.
stop and think about it, how many women in that prison are in there because of some jackass with a lock container? One of their boyfriends just like handed them a lock container. And
I don't know what an attractive man looks like. I'm just saying, like, objectively, he looks like Brad Pitt to me. I don't know if Brad Pitt's I'd assume he's attractive because a lot of men like Brad Pitt. and he went out with like all those movie stars, right? But then like Pete Davidson goes out with a whole bunch of movie stars, and he looks crazy. So, and maybe people will say, no, Pete Davidson's really attractive, Stephen. I'm like, yeah, I think he looks crazy. To me, what's his face here, Johnny Boy? He kind of looks like Team of Brad Pitt, and I'll die on that hill.
And so Daisy did.
I also think he has like an alternate personality that he talks to and stuff, and like I think he's like, you know, if Fight Club was a dark comedy, it'd be kind of like that.
Deserve that. You know, I put that on me.
He went to court and he waived his right to and our attorneys got together and there was collaboration instead of conviction. And real, like when those cell doors closed, I mean, I really got close to God because it's just me and concrete right there. And it made me acknowledge like the little baby chicks who get thrown into the grinder because they're male. Like imagine being born into that life. So if we look at this as a learning and a lesson, I mean, I would have stayed in there and I would have been joyful and blissful and filled with love and light because I'm on God's bus. And on God's bus, I can do anything.
Does she call the jail God's bus, or is she just still talking about being on the bus to jail? Because I think we're halfway. We're halfway through the video. We're not even off the bus. I think, is it a metaphor?
And I was already starting healing circles and doing flow strokes, and the guards were all lighting up, and everyone was coming together. And when I went in,
Oh hell yeah! No, they are. They're like I'll get a picture of Brad Pitt and Angelina. I forgot that they ended up together after that. After he was like with Jennifer Aniston, right? I thought they would have been together forever. Him and Jennifer Aniston. I don't know why I'm saying my E's like A's.
I went in there, I said, hey, guess what? I'm going to bring all of us together. And some people came over to me with violence, and I just do what I do. Yeah, you make sense. Thanks for telling me. I really want to contribute to you. I'm a supporter. If there's anything else, will you tell me?
Oh, I love you, babe.
I want to respect you, even if it's space. Just let me know.
And I want to say, you know, thank you guys for not jumping to conclusions.
Yes, they did.
See, Daisy's like, yes, they did. I definitely jumped to conclusions. I jumped to a whole bunch of conclusions, but we got John on. I asked him my questions, so it's not like I didn't try to get to the truth.
Jump to conclusions. The internet's mean.
Well, for the people that do jump to conclusions and make assumptions,
we love you anyway. You're so lovable no matter what.
How many people have you guys hurt because you jumped to conclusions without actually getting to know the people you're accusing?
I think it's better to be safe than sorry. Whoa, maybe he doesn't. I think I did this the other day, actually. I pulled up pictures of Brad Pitt and I was like, well, maybe he doesn't look like Brad Pitt. But this is like Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie. They kind of look similar. Let me go back over to Daisy and Guy here. Oh, what thing is it? Where is Daisy and Guy? Here they are. This is not the best face to be paused on, but like I'm seeing it less and less. Well, this one kind of looks like him, and the face. Let's use we'll use these two, this one and this one, and then we'll come back over here. I don't know. What do you got? I'll do a poll.
Okay.
Think about that before you start throwing around accusations that could end people's lives.
I would say it like this: if we accuse, and if we judge, and if we punish and reward, we're going to elicit coercive giving. And that's when people give under duress. And if we are giving coercively, we're not giving from our heart. We're not filling with endorphins. The energies that we create from are not as elevating. So what we create is not as elevating. So this is a wake-up call. We're going to be working in prison. So we're going to Linwood tonight. And I don't know if he's going to be with me, but if you guys want to support me, I'm going there right after this.
So we just want to thank everybody. Thank you for your donations. Thank you for your support. We're just honored to be back here in Venice, to keep doing our work, doing God's work here. We're healing the people, and you guys can help out and join with a call to lovela.com. We appreciate anything and everything.
But like, what are we doing now? Because I thought like we're off of the taking over the government. At least that would be a really bad idea to pursue. So I was hoping we were off of that. So what are we donating towards now exactly? What are we doing? I'm unsure of the future. 5 donations. 5. Oh yeah. You can only donate $5 at a time, minimum. Minimum. Yeah, I don't know. I'm still looking at Brad Pitt. Oh, sorry. Okay, let them. I don't know why there's 3 minutes left of this. They sounded like they were ending. I'm hiccuping.
We're going to be opening up our yoga studio, which is going to be
Our yoga yogurt studio.
fantastic. Daisy's going to be the teacher.
We're going to be partners because we're teaching partner yoga.
Yeah.
It's called Flow Strokes, and it's a combination of hypnotherapy, yoga, and bodywork.
And as always, we're going to work with local officials to make sure everything runs smoothly, and we'll continue to be a voice for the voiceless. God bless you. And just a reminder, every Saturday and Sunday from 8:30 to about 9:30 p.m., where Rose hits the boardwalk, giving out food. So if you guys are short on food prices are pretty high right now, just swing by. We'll make sure we get you a bag.
What else can they get besides food?
A boop on the nose.
It's Sunday.
and
What else
love.
can they get? A sermon from John, and he's amazing. He gets standing ovations, and woo, and it's really good. So come on out.
I was muted, like Jordy does sometimes. John of many jobs and talents and sources. Oh, investments and sources of income. I guess, like, I don't know. It's a very Robin Hood mentality, which, like, I don't have anything against Robin Hood. I guess, like, stealing from the rich, giving to the poor. But, like, wouldn't it be better if, like, we just, worked hard and then gave back with the money that we earned, like, instead of running ourselves into the ground? It's not, as Gary Vee told James Soroka, it's not practical. If you have nothing to give, you can want to give and help all you want, but if you have nothing to give, like, you're not going to help anyone. So, and James Soroka is a scammer. So, like, is John a scammer? I hope not. I think is this just I think this is what he does at the end of every video. He just walks through Venice Beach now. I don't think they'll probably say anything. Okay, so we'll hop back over here. That's good. Thank you, Bombay Beach, and thank you, Jill, for being like, hey, Steve, you crazy guy, why didn't you pull this up? Thank you. We needed that. We needed to see Daisy out of jail. So this is John. When Daisy was in jail, John was on a mission here. So he went on this interview, and this is what happened. What kind of? I think it's pretty good, actually. We want to skip French. It's pretty. There's some good parts to it.
Just a little backstory. I've been talking to Daisy for a couple months now. I'm friends with Daisy. We talk on the phone almost every day. Daisy is Wawa or Wah, if people don't know for sure. And John, you are her newest, her love of her life, you said, right?
Yeah, she's been fantastic. It's the first time I've been like best friends in a relationship.
Doesn't he look okay? This is the last time I'll say it, but doesn't he look like Brad Pitt here with the sunglasses and the hair in Fight Club that time before he shaved all his hair off? And they were like, "We're space monkeys." I'm telling you guys.
How did you meet?
So I lost my motorcycle helmet. I thought someone had stolen it. So I went down to the beach and I just kind of called out like, hey, has anyone seen anybody like walking away with a motorcycle helmet or anybody like help me look for it? And everyone just kind of stood there staring at me, and she popped out of nowhere. I was just like, yeah, I'll help you. So we went up and down the street looking for it. And I actually realized I had left it in my room. So, but the whole idea was that she's the only one that stood there and helped me. So I was like, yeah, let me buy you a coffee. And
Fight Club's a really good movie. Like, it's worth watching. And then just picture this guy the whole time. I feel like this is John, and then it'll all make sense at the end of the movie. It really, really will if you haven't seen Fight Club.
She grabbed a needy person that was just a needy lady that was right nearby, and she asked if she could come along too, and I thought that was really cool because it was just like, yeah, of course, I'll buy you both coffee. Like, let's go. And from there, we've just been doing really God's work and doing like really just trying to help people on the beach, feeding the homeless, doing various sorts of healing, meditative, yoga, breath work. And we've kind of just escalated it. Every time someone asks us for help, we can just ask, one, why is this not already being met? And two, how can we help?
That's great. And
Mm.
so what were you guys doing on Wednesday when all this went down?
Yeah, we went to the courthouse to protest Daisy's estrangement from her children. They were removed from her custody by the government.
So, but like it was for violating the restraining orders. Like the reason that they're going is not. I don't think there's cases for estrangement of children. I mean, like it's not like a custody case. It's for the restraining orders.
At requests from her family. And it's been 6 years. You know, it's been a long time. So she's been very consistent in protesting this.
Edward Norton's a Nazi in American History X.
And hasn't given up faith to see her kids. But you know, that's a cause I can get behind. I mean, the government should not be involved in every family dispute. So that's what we were doing. We were going to her court case.
Okay, so she had a court appearance, and you guys.
Yep.
I don't think. You mean like because he looks kind of like Brad Pitt? He crashes his motorcycle all the time, though. I don't know like how good of a stunt. He might be. He might cost the movie. I don't know if they have to pay your insurance if you get hurt on set. Maybe you sign something. You could try. He's in the right place. He's in California. If he wants, he's already trying to be a stuntman. Maybe this is how he can make his money.
Yep.
Were you outside protesting, or did you go into the courthouse?
We went into the courthouse, and we weren't carrying anything other than just what we had in our pockets, like nothing. We went up with our paperwork, and the judge basically ordered a continuance for like a mental.
What did I say the movie was? I thought I said American History X. Yeah, he's a Nazi in American History X. I never said fuck that. I said in American History X. He's a Nazi. And he is. He's a Nazi in American History X.
Mental health evaluation on Daisy.
Okay.
And I kind of got like, you know, I was just like very bluntly, what is wrong with you people? This is completely normal to act this way if your children are taken away from you. Like it's a normal thing to have an emotional reaction to having your kids ripped away from you. I think the people who are sitting here calmly while their families are being destroyed without due process need to be examined, not her. This is how I would react. I would, you know, it would be much worse if someone tried to take my kids.
Right.
Mm.
And okay, so the arrest, the charges, what are the charges then? How did this arrest happen?
It's a good question, DJ Electra. How did this arrest happen?
You both got arrested, right?
We both got arrested, yes.
Why? Just because you were verbalizing that you were upset, or what happened exactly?
So we went outside to protest essentially her getting removed from her family, and then also just the system that this completely and totally impartial system that takes and rips away families with very little evidence or very little consent. So we had a message of peace and love and unity that community.
I don't think anyone's going to consent to have their kids taken away. But like the evidence you were on. So why don't you guys remember the soft white belly interview was not out yet at this point, but he was there for the filming of it. So he knows everything that Daisy's admitted to. Like Daisy admitted to that. Why would she admit to something she didn't do? So it could be even worse than that. And John's out here being like, no evidence. Like they don't even need evidence to convict you. Like, what are you talking about, guy?
Community members ought to be in charge of this, not the police.
Community members should be in charge of this, not the police. The police are part of the community, first off. Like they're community members as well. And like, no, for the same reason I said before, like you can't have a mob mentality deciding things that like people have been trained to. We have a court system for a reason. Like we have due process for a reason. Oh my goodness. It's John.
And we went back to my motorcycle to prepare. We picked up a couple things along the way while we were getting ready, one of them being her speakers. And I put a shoulder-mounted lock box on my shoulder. So it was a rectangular lock container across my back. And I didn't have a key for it. You know, it's my right to carry a locked container in a public area.
Why even bring it without the key? He wouldn't answer that. And so when Daisy used to go to court, she would be smoking bowls and everything. And she'd have this bag that she put like her bong and everything in the bushes, and then she'd go into court, and then she'd come out and she'd get it because like you can't bring weed and shit to court, right? You can't just leave like a locked box, and like if it's the same locked box that I'm thinking of that we've seen him wear before, it's like is made out of fabric. Like you could just cut into it. There's a lock on it, but it's just like just locking the zippers if it's the same one. So I don't think he just left it on the bike. What I'm picturing happening is like him stashing it in the bushes and then them starting a scene with like officials and then them leaving. And as they're leaving, they pull out this fucking thing from the bushes and they're like, whoa, after they were just like, you know, we'll bulldoze this place down. You guys are blah, 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 blah. And so obviously they're going to be like, what the hell's going on here? Why you would give this to Daisy? I don't know. Like, see, I don't know if he's saying like, I didn't have a key because he did have a key and he just threw it so he could like plead ignorance, or not ignorance, but say like, hey, like I it wasn't accessible. It was a prop. Or was this a setup? Like, was he trying to get Daisy either shot because he was really telling the cops to use those guns on him? And if she was the one with the firearm, I think they'd be pointed at her more than him. Also, like people don't have the best aim in high stressful situations. And then, or you get her sent to jail, but she did. She ended up in jail. And I don't know, like maybe I'm going to sound like an asshole. Who doesn't have $500? Like to be able, like you should have at least $500 to bail your girlfriend out of jail. If not, like I said, sell the bike, pawn it even, so you can get it back once the GoFundMe donations come through. Just a lot of, I would call them red flags, a lot of suspicious things happening here.
And so we went back to the courthouse and we continued to talk. And once again, it was completely peaceful. We were talking specifically about why is it that the government, which is the only institution with the monopoly of force, forcing their way into our family,
Complete negligence, yeah.
into your homes, telling you when you can and can't see your kids, what kind of funding they get, what kind of schools they get. And really, if you're being told to do something wrong, just don't do it. You're government workers, guys. You're not going to lose your jobs. You can't.
Well, John, we wouldn't need like cops in general if everyone just didn't do like, hey, don't do this. Okay, we won't do it. You know what I mean? It's telling the cops like, hey, if this seems like a bad idea, maybe don't do it. If everyone just didn't do bad things, then we wouldn't need like officials to intervene, right? Like, if only the world were so easy, John.
You can't get fired from half these positions. Just don't do it. There's no skin off your back, and it's much easier to just and to be at peace.
I love how John is like, oh, if you just disobey direct orders, they can't fire you. You're fine. Just don't do it. Just don't arrest me, okay? I just wanted to cause a scene and walk away. That's fine. Just don't do it.
Not being told to do an immoral thing and actively participating in a system that separates women from their kids. Right? So that was our message. And yeah, it was met with a lot of armed police officers. They shoved about 8 guns in my face and Daisy's face, and they were telling me to leave. They were accusing me of having a weapon. Where's your gun? Where's this and that? And I'm like, I have a locked container. Don't accuse me of things. I see 6 guns pointed at my face right now, and I have nothing in my hands.
Yeah.
That's not a reason to leave. I have a right to be here. Give me a real reason, and I will leave. Like, we will leave. And
what? That's not a real 6 guns pointed at me is not a real reason to leave. I don't think if they were pointing the guns at you because of the locked container, then I don't think they were asking you to leave. I think they were probably asking you to like get on the ground, or like you said to me, turn around so we could shoot you in the back. or just probably cooperate. Let me see what's in this case. Like, why are you guys causing a scene? I don't know what they said. I would love to know exactly like what they said before trying to take off with a gun.
We have this on video, by the way.
Great.
So I mean,
Let's see the video then.
people that don't believe me, you'll see once we're allowed to get access to it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, yeah, and one of the dudes that didn't have a gun was like, "Yo, I'll give you a reason. I'm on my lunch break, bro. I want to go home, or I want to go back to my lunch break. Can you guys leave?" And I went up to him like,
Well, that you can tell this is a story made up. I want to go home. I mean, I want to go back to the lunch break. Could you just guys just leave? I would pay to the GoFundMe if the GoFundMe was just to get the body cam footage. If that's, and you wouldn't need $5,000 for that. That's probably like $50 tops. Like, but that's the only way I would donate to his GoFundMe.
like, yeah, you know, like that's a real reason. I shook his hand, and we walked away. Right?
Mm-hmm.
We got on the motorcycle, like drove away, and about 100 yards later, we were followed, pulled over. I immediately pulled over, and immediately was drawn on, like, you know, guns right in my face, like laser dot sights. These guys were aiming right at us, and they were telling us not to move. So I put my hands up on the motorcycle, and Daisy was like whispering prayers in my ear, and they told me to get off the bike. And by that time, there was probably about 8 guns trained right at my face and right at Daisy.
Daisy's the non-religious one. You know, like opposites attract. I think that's what's happening here. But I just wonder, like, what prayers non-religious Daisy was saying in his ear. You know.
Wow.
So I got off the bike because they told me to, and then I also moved away. Right, I moved like kind of away from the bike so that they were aiming at me and not her.
Mm-hmm.
And by that time, they're just screaming at me. You know, I'm facing.
And you're being non-compliant because you got the charge of failing to obey a peace officer.
Facing like 8 people with a bunch of guns at my face. I'm just like, all right, like, and I told them, like, you know, I know what a gun is. All right, like, if you pull it, use it. If you're not going to use it, put it away, and we'll talk.
Right.
So I was just like, go ahead, shoot me. And they're like, no, turn around. I'm like, I'm not turning around so you can shoot me in the back.
I like I think it was in the first update. He was like, they released me from jail for some reason. I don't know why. I was like, probably because you bailed yourself out or someone bailed you out. And then he was also saying, fuck, I forget now because I have short-term memory loss. But basically, fuck, I'm crazy. Hold on.
I'm not running away. Look me in the eyes when you shoot me. And, like, you know, none of the guys with the lethal guns could do it. But the guy that was right directly in front of me, probably about 5 yards, just shot me right in my leg with a non-lethal round. And, you know, I told him, I'm like, yo, this isn't Iraq and Afghanistan, guys. You can't treat people like that. You can't treat American citizens like this.
I thought he said that it wasn't Iraq and Afghanistan before he got shot in the other story, at least. And yeah, a sniper. Yeah, it has sniper aimed on him.
But he shot me.
What cause did he have to shoot you with? What was it, a beanbag or something?
Yeah, you want to see the wound?
Yeah, I do.
You want to see the wound, guys? Here we go.
Yeah. I got shorts.
See, when I had just seen this interview before I did the interview on this channel, and I was expecting this. I was expecting John in the room looking like this. That's why, like, he had these sunglasses in the thumbnail. And then he's like, Steve, I'm outside of the court, or not the court. I'm outside of the police station with both my bikes and my buddy Andre, and I can hear you better with the helmet on, so I'm going to wear the helmet. And I'm like, that's fucking amazing. Yes, please wear the helmet. And then we got like outside John walking around the police parking lot giving us the interview. But I was expecting this when I took the interview.
Shorts on. I mean, like, all things, it's not like that bad, you know, like, but like, yeah, I got shorts on, so don't worry, YouTube censorship. But like,
Okay.
yeah, basically, like, this is fine, right? Like, this is like exactly what you would see from like me, like, messing around with my friends out in the woods.
Go up a little.
There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, I can't see.
Ouch.
Yeah, I mean, it's okay. The thing is, I thanked them after. I didn't flip
I thanked him. I didn't flip him off. I thanked him.
Flinch, though. I just took it.
Mhm.
And yeah, I mean, if you look at it, like that's he's very accurate. He missed all the important parts.
Yeah.
Oh,
Wasn't going for the vital parts, but still there I mean, you weren't running, you weren't fighting, correct? Were you
No.
trying to fight back?
no, my hands are up. I took off my shirt and my
He took off his shirt. There he's gonna get to the part. Well, I don't know what interview it was. Where he's like, I had no pants on. They sent me to the hospital against my will. Like, so I'm just picturing a naked John be like, I don't want to be at the hospital, guys. I only have one pair of pants. Give me that. Well, two pairs of pants. Give me that back. Oh, mamma mia.
and my helmet, and just had my hands up, just like this.
Okay.
No, and I told him too, like the woman that was like one of the women that was ordering me to do something. I was like, how would you feel if 7 armed men or 8 or whatever armed men were pointing guns at you and telling you to get on your knees? Like, what is this?
And I would say, how would you feel if like some crazy person brought a gun to your workplace and started like yapping about, I don't know, taking over the government, bulldozing it down and shit? How would you feel? How would that make you feel, John?
Put them down.
He would say, yeah, if you have a gun, use it on me. I don't want to waste my time here. He's trying to die fast. He just has a death wish, I think. I don't know.
And talk to me, because I have no idea why I'm being pulled over. I have no idea what you're doing. You haven't given me a reason. Like, I've had a ton of guns and stuff pulled on me before, and like, you know, I don't cooperate with an armed mob shouting orders at me.
Right. And you don't seem like a criminal, but do you have a criminal history? Did they have something on
No.
you that No? Okay.
No, I have no criminal history. I've never been to
Okay.
jail.
Yeah, you don't seem like one. And so what was Daisy, what was she doing at this point? Was she, because I know a lot of times she does talk back to the authorities. Was she giving them grief or talking back to them?
No, she was just on the bike. She was holding the locked container because I was driving.
Okay.
So she was holding the locked container.
Actually in the locked container?
What was it, John?
You know, that's my business.
Okay.
You know, like I have a right to have a locked container, and you need a warrant to search that. We have property rights in the United States.
That's
and
true.
like each one of these people knows that. So they didn't have a warrant, and they didn't give me a reason.
Remember when I asked him why he brought the gun? He didn't refute it. He didn't say, "Oh, it wasn't a gun." He's like, "It was a prop. It was a prop for the peaceful protest, guys." Okay, but I couldn't even get to it. I forgot the key at home, but I don't know if I actually forgot it. It might have been intentionally left at home. I'm pleading the fifth. John's words.
Reason for pulling me over either to search my vehicle. We were never read our Miranda rights this entire process.
Wow.
And yeah, right after they shot me, I thanked them for having good aim, and then they proceeded to storm me, and I didn't resist at all. I just took it. You know, they tackled me pretty gently, all things considered. I didn't go down. I just stood there, handcuffed me, threw me in the back of a police car.
They tackled John, and then they just kind of like hung on to him. He didn't take him down, even like with all the police training. They just kind of hung there.
And then I refused medical help because I don't want anything from these people.
Yeah, that's who's voicing the AI. It's DJ Electra. That's how we say her name. DJ Electra on what is it? Hack Ride Radio. That's I don't get all these people's names.
I don't want their money. I don't want a lawsuit. Like, you know, I don't want anything. I don't want your health care. Like, just leave me alone.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, so then they took off my pants to check. They had paramedics come check me to make sure I had no internal bleeding.
Mm-hmm.
And then left me in the back of the cop car with like my pants off. And I couldn't really see what was happening to Daisy. But I had to like, eventually somebody put my pants back on for me. It was nice.
Yeah, it was nice. Yeah, I don't know about the pants thing. It's just like, I don't know, throwing in random details to make the story sound either more like epic or feel sorry for him or just come up with more time, more lies. I don't know.
Nice.
Because you're handcuffed, so you can't put it back on.
No, yeah, they're behind my back, you know.
Yeah.
And then yeah, They took all of my stuff, impounded my motorcycle, both of my helmets, my jacket, my keys. Had my wallet. They let me keep my wallet, which was good, and my phone, which didn't have a lot. Like, it had some battery, but not a ton. And I wasn't allowed to access that stuff. And I had to argue with them to let me
What? You weren't allowed to access the bikes or the stuff on the phone? Because that wouldn't even make sense. I'm assuming he means the bikes.
turn to let me say goodbye to Daisy, to let her know that I was still here and make sure she was okay. And so I got to say like goodbye to her as we were like driving by, basically.
Okay.
Wow.
And
yeah,
you went to the men's jail. She went to the women's jail, right?
no, we were put in the same jail.
Oh, okay. In just general. Okay. And then
It was the Lennox. It was the Lennox Sheriff Department that they put us in.
Lennox. All right. And then you saw the judge today, correct?
No, they released.
I think like John's definition of resisting is different from the rest of our definition of resisting. Like John thinks he could just not comply to the people's commands, like the officials' demands, because I don't know, he wanted to like try to negotiate with him or something. But he wasn't resisting. Okay, he was just trying to have a conversation. I don't fucking know. But yeah, he was resisting, obviously.
Released me on a citable offense for like a noise complaint and failure to listen to a peace officer. I had court in 2 months.
Wow.
So I was in there for 24 hours. I was in there without. They didn't really explain to me. They said I did one thing, had me sign some stuff on like a citable offense, and then they had a bunch of people saying other stuff like you're going to be in here till Monday. You're going to be, it was a lot of inconsistencies of what I was being told.
They always say that. I wonder who they ask though, because if you're asking the guy doing the fingerprints, he's not going to know like anything about what you were arrested for, how long you're going to be there, etc. and so forth. I don't know if he was actually married or not, but I know that he like wears his wedding ring or some ring still. I asked him about the wedding ring. I don't think he answered it though. He was just like, "Yeah, I have an ex, and I have a restraining order because I learned how to ride motorcycle, learned poetry, and something. I'll learn how to dance." Those were the big 3.
So it almost seems like they just wanted you guys off the streets for a couple days.
Yeah.
To me, at least, just from because you're outspoken and you have a platform and you were protesting and speaking out in front of the courthouse.
Mm-hmm.
And it's almost like they just wanted you guys quiet for a couple days.
Yeah. And I mean, like, I respect law enforcement and our military. Like, God bless you guys. Like, you guys used force perfectly.
See, he used force perfectly in this interview, but then in the other interviews, it was like it was excessive. It was crazy. It was crazy.
I have no issue with the way you guys use force, right? Like, that was expertly handled. I had no doubt that I would be killed immediately.
Yeah, there is a weapon because like they were charged with possession of a firearm. You know what I mean? So that'd be a pretty crazy charge to have without there actually being one.
If I did not comply or like fought back in any way, shape, or form, I would have been neutralized and nobody would have known. Right. So like I have no problem. Like, I understand that. What I have a problem with is the leadership and how they use a specialized tool. Right, these are specialized units, and like they're trained perfectly in the application of force. So like they're telling them to handle things that force shouldn't be applied in, Mm-hmm. And so they were told I talked to the officers while I was there, a couple of them, and they were told that like they were responding to like an active shooter basically. There's a guy walking around with a gun at the courthouse, in the courthouse, etc., with a weapon. And so they came in like thinking that I was about to start shooting them. I had a locked container. I didn't have a key to it. I didn't have any ammo on me.
See, like, what could they have said or done for them to think that? All right, like they wouldn't have just done it for no reason. They must have had a reason to think that, John.
Okay, so like there's no intent there, and our message was completely peaceful.
Right. And
No, I think that plan is out the window. Daisy did say that though. She said that she was going to use her EBT to pay to pay the dude for the implants. That would have taken like years and years and years and years. I don't know if he actually plans on paying it back. Like, what's she gonna do? She doesn't. She said in the interview, the soft white belly interview, she's like, I haven't touched money in years. She'll just get some other simp to pay this simp for the fucking butt implants. You wait and see. That's my guess.
And
So-
but Daisy is being charged, and she is being held in jail right now for a felon with a firearm.
Exactly.
So they did gain access to the lock container, correct?
They, without a warrant, searched my motorcycle, and then without a warrant, broke my property, opened up a lock container, and
Yes.
are using whatever they found in that lock container to charge somebody with possession of a firearm that isn't theirs.
Right. She was never in possession of it. She didn't have it on her person. It wasn't in her pocket or in her purse or anything like that. It was in a locked container on.
So we're acknowledging that the gun exists and it was in a locked container, right? Right.
And you had it in your possession the whole time.
It was on my vehicle.
Right. You didn't bring it into the court or anything. Okay.
No.
Now,
No.
did you guys talk about having that and bringing that with you to places on certain live streams at all?
See, this is a good question because I didn't know that they had shown the gun on other live streams and been like, we're gonna take it here, maybe to court, we're gonna take it there, maybe do this, and they were also like implying that it was an illegal gun. So this is John's response to that question.
Am I remembering that correctly, or was that like a dream I had?
I mean, we talk a lot of stuff. There's a lot of jokes being thrown around.
Right.
You know, it's like you can't take everything seriously that you hear online.
Well, and that's why I asked the question in my interview. Can you say that it's a joke when you end up following through on the thing you're joking about, right? Like if he's basically, oh, that's a joke. We would never actually bring a gun to a courthouse, but you did. He can play semantics. He can say it was outside of the courthouse, but it was court. He didn't have anywhere else to go with that after. It's not like he was like, oh, I was going to the firing range after and I didn't have time to drive back. You know, he was like, I had to go to work after, you know, and work is at home. I answer emails. Like he had no reason to bring this thing with him.
Right. But I think you did. I think maybe you had spoken about having a firearm. Anyways, what I'm saying is that possibly they had been watching. The authorities had been watching your live streams, Daisy. I mean,
Really?
it's a possibility.
Well, that's cool.
Well, why else would they have, come after you left peacefully and you were leaving the situation? Why would they have come after you? It just
because they didn't want to make a mess outside of their magistrate's palace.
I see.
Yeah, I like how DJ Electric just like, I see. Like, no, I don't know. That's some they were trying to flee.
Yeah.
So they wanted to do it a couple blocks away.
Yeah, because then they can do whatever they want, right?
Right. And just to charge her with that, it just does seem like they're railroading her and, quite silencing her.
Mm-hmm.
Imagine he's like, I picked up the wrong bag, guys. This isn't even I thought this was my locked container. That's why I don't have the key for it. Shucks.
Keeping her locked up she wasn't going there to be violent. She's not violent. I mean, everyone has tendencies where we can get violent, but she's not a violent person normally. And she's not, she does talk though. And it seems like they want her quiet.
Oh yeah. I mean, at every turn, I didn't get to see everything that Daisy's done, but the thing is like everything that I've seen this woman do, unbelievable. I mean, like she routinely risks her life, property, like everything to help people. Just like without even hesitating. And she does it singing and like in the most happy, like little spirit while people are like actively threatening to kill her. Like, and she's done it like non-violently and to so many people all across this beach in Venice. And it's like, she clearly she's not violent and she's worked on herself like an incredible amount. And
so why would you give her a gun to carry, John? You know, she's a non-violent person. Let's just give her a gun.
the fact of the matter is like, this doesn't make sense to some people, right? Being
Of course, it doesn't make sense to most people. Because you can't explain it. You see, he never answered. He never answered. He said it was a prop. That was the best answer we got. That's like the closest thing to an answer we got. Is that it was a prop. To be fair to John, though, like he did answer a majority of the questions. Like he did technically answer that, but it wasn't like, I guess, I don't feel like that's the full answer, right? But he was a good sport. He could have gotten a lot pissier. He could have just been like, fuck you, and left. But I appreciate him actually answering the questions, but I don't think that's the answer.
Being silly and having fun while you're going through a horrifying process, that's strength, right? If you can watch people just like ripping each other apart, and you come at them with just like peace, love, and like a silly joke, like that's like real bravery. And I saw her do these things over and over again, and I was just like, wow, that's amazing. You know, that's somebody that I would get behind.
About her, she has so
Yeah.
much energy and love to give, and it's horrible that it's being kept away from her children, because I really do think that she deserves to be in their life, you know. And I know that's what you were at the courthouse for. And the first time I saw you with Daisy was in the courthouse at another court appearance. And it's just, does she have a lawyer, or is she representing herself?
We're working on that. I mean, we're trying to, you know, I put a lot of my own money into our nonprofits, supporting like the food drive and everything. I'm kind of stretched thin. I've never taken any charity or money.
Well, we're starting with 2 GoFundMe. He has another GoFundMe up as well. So like I found this interesting. Let me get the other one pulled up. We're just gonna, where I'll show you where we're gonna, what's up, man? No, because I don't think they wanna. So yeah, so he has like a call to lot. So this is like the we feed, shelter, and counsel all people, help foster interdependent communities and real people meeting needs. So this is like the food drive. Like he said he was donating his own money to the food drive, and that's why he was stretched thin, so he couldn't bail Daisy out. But he has a fucking GoFundMe up for the food drive as well as this. So like, I've never asked for charity, guys, but we're hitting the ground running by starting off with 2 right out of the gate. Oh shit! I actually
don't accuse me of things.
God damn it! Where were we? Somewhere.
Handcuffed me, threw me in the back of a police car.
Right. You didn't bring it into the court or anything. She does talk though, and it seems like they want her quiet. Horrible that it's being kept away from her children. I really do think that she deserves to be in their life, you know. And I know that's what you were at the courthouse for. And the first time I saw you with Daisy was in the courthouse at another court appearance. And it's just, does she have a lawyer, or is she representing herself?
We're working on that. I mean, we're trying to, you know, I put a lot of my own money into our nonprofits.
Well, I don't know, Gumby. I don't know. He's saying like we gotta feed and shelter people. Maybe they're gonna like open up John's place. You know, John's like, I leave my door unlocked. You can just come into my fridge, come crash in my place, just put everything back how you found it. Maybe he's gonna start renting rooms out too. He needs the extra cash. I don't know. He's never asked for charity though, I guess.
Supporting like the food drive and everything. I'm kind of stretched thin. I've never taken any charity or money. This has been all my like donations, and everything that's given to me I put back into the nonprofit. And that's how that is. And I don't have the means to get everything that we need to make this go flawlessly. I have right after this, I do have a criminal defense lawyer that I'm working with. I think his name is Bob Shapiro.
Okay.
And
that was Ben Shapiro. Bob Shapiro. So when I looked up Bob Shapiro, he was like one of the lawyers that helped get O.J. Simpson off. I don't think he has Bob Shapiro on retainer. I'm just gonna go out and say that.
We're working with that. I also had Eli Mordecai, who's another.
Ben the dog is like my profile picture right now on YouTube, And John has yet to notice that's his dog. So I think that's funny.
Lawyer who was walking me through like the process. He was on the phone the entire time, or not the like for hours while we were in jail, giving us legal advice. That's Eli Mordecai. He's been great, and so we were working on it, but like one of the things that I noticed, okay, was just what the United States government, what we have created, is unbelievably powerful. We were dealing with like.
Is he reading? It looks like he's almost reading, but I might be tripping.
The bottom tier of like the hierarchy in terms of power, right? I had like 4 or 5 of my constitutional rights violated as a routine procedure. And I, by the grace of God, like, and I'm talking to you right now, I could have just been killed.
Right.
And no
I'm
one
so
would have
glad
cared.
You are okay.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe not. That's a dark thing to say, John.
Has anyone heard from Daisy since she's been in there?
Oh yeah, she's on the phone with me constantly. I'm making sure that like she has access to what she needs.
Okay.
Good.
Anything I can do. I mean, like I learned a lot because like I'm not. I come off as like kind of like hard. Like I'll stand up for whatever. Like I'll put my life on the line. But I've never been to jail, so like that was an opening experience for me. And one of them is I was functionally denied my phone call. You got a crap little like.
This is him. This is him. He really hates jail, and he hates. I don't. The thing he's describing, I think it's just like a normal, like a landline phone. If anyone here who's been born before, probably like I don't know. I was born in '90, and I had landline phone. But I think he's just describing that, and he's like, I don't know how to use it. It only works like 20% of the time. Let's hear this. Oh, I'm pressed. I don't even know why I tried to press that. It's with my foot now.
Like old school phone from like the 50s in there that works half the time. It takes like 20 minutes to dial one number. You're not given any access to your phone at all.
Just John trying to remember 10 digits in a row. He's like 20 minutes trying to do this.
And half of it, like most of the time, the PIN numbers don't even work. So you're sitting there like just praying that like this call will actually work. The machine is like decrepit. It's like literally rotting off the wall. And like you don't have access to any of your, like, I don't know about you, but I don't really memorize the phone numbers in my phone. You know what I mean?
No.
So I had to like,
anymore.
I found out Daisy was in the cell near me, and I had to like yell to her to give me numbers that I had to write in soap on my freaking bed, bro.
On soap, that's very Fight Club-esque, writing numbers in soap in jail. I don't think they ever went to jail in Fight Club, actually.
Oh, like it was like it's funny kind of until you're sitting there like, holy shit, I'm gonna have to like MacGyver this, and these people literally have billions of dollars in funding, and I can't even get a fucking phone call, bro.
Yeah, that's insane.
It's not meant to the process. That's what I saw, and I kind of knew that. But
I wonder how many people who were around John that day felt safe and secure that their tax dollars went into taking him out. Just like, and putting him at least away for a little bit to calm the fuck down. He seems like this has been a good learning experience for him. Maybe he won't bring a gun to a fucking courthouse ever again. Hopefully not, but I guess time will tell. We'll see.
But the process is not meant to get you justice. The process is meant to keep you there with every little cheap shot, and it's like a death by 1,000 cuts. I haven't been charged with. I haven't actually been like convicted of anything, and I'm already out almost like $3,000.
Wow.
What like the impound fees, I guess. His bail to get himself out. I can't imagine that add up to $3,000. What else did you do?
Worked 2 jobs, and I've saved up my entire life. I barely got out of there with able to pay it. But
most people who have worked 2 jobs and saved for their entire life by 32 would have more than like $3,000. He was broke. He's broke. If he couldn't afford the 500 to get Daisy out, and $3,000 is gonna make you that broke, like what the fuck? He says he has all these investments. Sell some of your stocks. I assume they're stocks. I mean, let's be real. I don't think they exist. I don't think he has investments in anything. But let's say, just for the sake of the argument, you did do that. Like, come on, there's ways here.
But they took my motorcycle gear, like all my safety gear. They confiscated it for evidence or some. I don't even know. They don't even know where it is. I'm supposed to file a lost item complaint, and it's like $600 to get myself out of the impound. I had to ride home almost an hour with no helmet or shirt because like they took it all. I literally left the jailhouse without a shirt on in my pants.
Maybe he's like adding the lost stuff. He's like, they lost my 2 helmets and my motorcycle, so that's like where all the other money's coming from. Because 600 plus 500 is $1,100. Where the fuck is this other $1,900 coming from?
With like 5% battery left and a bill, like,
Dang.
and if and then you see like I have to violate other laws in order to just function after that, so it just becomes a snowball effect, right? Like,
Yes, exactly.
yeah.
Now, how can we support you and Daisy? How can we help?
We need donations to pay for a lawyer, and I'll provide you guys with receipts so you know that I'm not like ripping you off, because I know that's like the thing circulating that like, I'm a businessman.
The thing, I don't think there was anything circulating as of this moment that said that John was a scammer or anything yet. He's like doing a preemptive fucking what is it? Save and face, like damage control. Preemptive damage control is what he's doing here. It feels like, what the fuck are you talking about, John? Who has accused you? I really like the 2 jobs, 2 GoFundMes. That's his 2 jobs, guys.
I know that ethics is the only way that you can maintain trust and get repeat business. Same thing with charity. I mean, charity is like the ultimate trust. Like, we need donations. We need help paying for a lawyer, because this is the thing, and this is what I said to the police, and this is what I said to the courthouse. Where's the line, guys? All right, because you think it's all funny and fun and games, but like, all the things that are happening to me, upper middle class, property owner, work 2 jobs, college educated, no criminal background,
right,
can be bulldozed if you piss off the wrong person with no rights. You think it's just me? Just wait till it comes for you and your kids. Dang, so that's like, I'm willing to be the front man, dude. I'm willing to die on that sword for whatever, but like, I need some help. Daisy needs some, and Daisy is more than, that's the thing, is Daisy's been doing it for freaking years, and like, now she has me. We got a team. We've been working on it, but we need more. That's all.
Right, and I put your link to A Call to Love LA. That's your website, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your website. I saw you guys making it. And I put that in chat, so I'm going to keep putting that out there. And that has your information to give donations, right?
Yeah, and I'll send you the GoFundMe for that too.
I'm going to give this also directly to you guys. This was a $50 donation right now from Deadpool, who's a great supporter of this channel. And so I'm going to get that to you. And thank you so much, Deadpool. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you, Deadpool.
Yes.
His name's Deadpool, not Deadpool.
So go to A Call to Love LA.
That's not me being smart or anything. Like, that was literally his name.
I'll put it in the chat again. And that has, is it a Cash App, or what's the best way to get the donations to you guys?
We have a GoFundMe specifically for her lawyer.
Oh, you
do? Yeah. Let me get that for you.
Okay.
Because I want it to be like, I want it to be transparent,
Right.
Daisy was a millionaire. Yeah.
Uh-oh. Are you still there? I think you froze.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm just getting that link for you.
All right.
I can get it after we're done, if that works.
I'm hungry.
That works too. I'll keep posting it. You guys share it across all our social medias and just get that out there, because it sounds like someone is up against Daisy and she does need the support. I mean, how does this affect you guys going forward?
Like you guys as us together, or like you guys like personally or for work? What would you
Well,
like to know?
I know that you guys Call to Love LA is really
Don't be doxing John. I know he's not the best guy, but don't be doxing John.
your passion right now and what you've been working on. And how does this affect what your goals and your progress?
It all depends. I mean, this is Daisy's vision. She's been asking for help. I got my background. I've thrown everything I can into like making it a reality, because like I believe that there needs to be like a serious change in how we value people. And she's been brave enough to do this. She needs help. So going forward, I mean, like it's up to you guys. Like we already have a fantastic group of people. The things that we've been able to do we've been told that we've not be able to feed 200 people every weekend. We've been told that we can't house women and children, which is what we're doing. We've been
Whoa, John. What are you talking about? You said you can't house women and children. What women and children are you housing? I really hope he just means like Daisy, and then that one person they had over, like she had a kid. I think it was. I know they kicked out Amelia, but like there was some other person with a kid there. Hopefully, no one is leaving their kids with these people. That's not where it is.
We've been told every step of the way, you can't do this, you can't do this. So like we can do this. It won't affect anything, and it's going to only allow us to grow, because we're going to shine a light on like how people are treated. And if I got to get shot to do that, then like let's go.
Such a martyr.
Good, that's what I like to hear. Don't back down. Don't stop now.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys have been building this for a while. And have you contacted the news at all? Or newspapers, news stations?
We had an interview with Santa Monica Close Up. I'm trying to get in touch with Soft White Underbelly.
Great.
But
yeah, so I don't. Do you guys think John will make it on Soft White Underbelly? I think probably not, but I don't know. Daisy made it on there, but Daisy's also like an interesting person.
I'm pretty ignorant of like the social media space.
He does have he already met Mark though, so I don't know. Maybe he hit it off with him. Who's to say?
I didn't even have a Facebook until like I was told to get one for the nonprofit, or like my Instagram. I deleted all that stuff. So like, I stopped reading the news too after like a while ago. Like after I just kind of realized after basically 2014, when the propaganda, domestic propaganda like hold was taken away.
What?
So after 2014, basically the United States is legally allowed to print domestic propaganda. So everything that you see online literally can be edited in real time by government officials.
It's never happened to me. I post a lot of crap online. None of the government, well, I don't live in America, but like, I think that shows like a little level of paranoia. A little level. It's paranoid as fuck. You think that you're, first off, John, you're not important enough for the government to edit any of the things you're posting. Second, like, it would be very easy to prove otherwise, I think, depending on what it is. It's just, there's no way this is happening.
So I just like, oh, this is just all lies. I don't believe it. So I just kind of, and I used to be.
Let me look up Tex Watson here.
Very, very ingrained in a lot of this stuff. But I'm kind of ignorant. My point is I'm kind of ignorant in terms of like.
Yeah, maybe. This is Tex Watson. Tex Watson. A little, maybe a little bit. I still think he looks more like Brad Pitt than this guy, but
who I should be reaching out to, like what news networks would be relevant, or what news networks are even credible at this point.
Right.
So if you have any suggestions or like connections, guys, I'm open to it. Like I value everybody's opinion, even if you disagree with me. Like I respect like your time, and I'll take personal phone calls, and I'll do everything I can to give my honest read about my beliefs how you can help and how you can best support the people around you. And if you disagree,
Oh.
tell me. If you think I'm garbage, tell me.
No,
I
I don't.
I
Honestly,
understand.
I think you are just exactly what Daisy needed in her life. And I think that together you guys can do a lot to help people. And sometimes I don't agree with everything, how she does things, but I'm her friend and I'll tell her that. And I'll make sure that I support her any way that I can. So you guys, let's get this out on social media. I'm gonna try to contact the newspapers and
Oh, I was muted too. My thing died. Hold on, guys.
get a way for this to get on the news as well.
I can't hear him.
Thank you. Yeah. God bless you, Electra. I mean, you're a good friend.
Yeah. And I know that you are going to meet with a lawyer right now. So any support that you guys give,
Was it not playing anything? That was like moving, but I didn't hear anything. That was weird.
we're going to send straight over to John. And I really appreciate your time today. And I'm going to keep trying to get in to see Daisy. And just keep me posted on how everything is going and what we can do. Okay.
He looks super thrilled, but that's pretty much it. And my headphones are dead anyways. So this is the face John leaves us with. This is the end of the day. I've been going over 2 hours anyways. I need to dip. I hope you guys have a great Wednesday. Thursday was supposed to be Daisy, but like it's Wednesday, so I don't know. I don't know what to do tomorrow. Maybe we won't do anything tomorrow. I don't know. But Friday is Heather. I think she gave us at least one live stream, so that's good. What? I don't know. But yeah, I hope that I already said I hope you guys have a great night. I gotta go. I'm trying to do too many things at once. Take care, guys. I'll see you next time.